I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be, what's good? Welcome to the premier Knicks and the Nighttime show, the Knicks at Night podcast. I'm your host, the number one chief rocker in Knicks universe, Uncle Freezy. Welcome. I'm doing this from my phone right now because I'm waiting on my computer to enter 2024. So just bear with me as my computer catches up with us. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to Cormega. Shout out to Wilson Ding is in the building. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in here. Trini, what's happening? I see you. Julu was in here. Hulu was in here. All right. Speedy Hedgehog is in here. What's good, boss? Keith Turner is in the building. What's good? Corey Lee is in here. What's good, Lee? What's good? So I got a couple of things. I got a couple of things to say just really quick before we really talk about today's game. Right? I want to talk about a few things. Just really quickly. One. I want to speak to us trading players. And when I say that, I'm not speaking to how you should feel. I'm speaking about how I feel. It's one thing when we talk trade and moving young players and things of that sort. We do it in real time because of our frustrations with a team that frustrates us a lot. Rodolfo Irizarry is in the building. What's good? It's one thing speaking to trading everyone, getting rid of everyone, and things of that sort because we're frustrated with the progress of a team. And then there is the actual completion of a trade. So I'm at the place where LI1 is in the building. I'm at a place where I'm coming to grips with the RJ and Emmanuel quickly trade, the OG Anunoby trade. Jeremy Nussbaum, Pastor J is in the building. Pastor J, what's good? Luke Skywalker Visions, what's good? So I'm speaking to the RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Precious Achua, OG Anunoby, Malachi Flynn trade. And so I feel like the old reggaeton song, Now That You Found Love, what are you going to do with it? Right? So everybody, don't judge me on the results part. I'm not saying that I don't like OG Anunoby, because I love the OB Anunoby edition. I love the Precious Achua edition. I love the Malachi Flynn edition. I love the addition of those players. Right. Let me add this. I'm gonna remove one thing and add another. Y'all be patient with me. I love the addition of OG Anunoby. I love the addition of Precious Achua. I love the addition of Malachi Flynn. Wiz, okay. Wiz, you understand where I'm going with this, right? Okay. So Wiz understands where I'm going with it. I think I'm experiencing a tad bit of separation anxiety, and not because what is added is not better than what is departed. Not because of that, right? It's merely because when you get used to something being around for so long, you get used to things being around. And so I just want to point out that from a basketball sense, I love what has happened. From a player sense, I love what OG Anunoby brings. Right? I love what Precious Achua brings. And even though I feel like there was a necessary upgrade, I felt like the upgrade was necessary. I still feel as if I have some type of separation anxiety from Quickly and for RJ. Is that gonna diminish how I feel as a Knicks fan? No. Because right now, RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly are no longer on my fandom radar. Right? If that makes sense. I root for New York Knicks. If you're not a Knick, I really don't care. Right? So I wanted to say that. And I know it seems complicated. Well, how would you have separation anxiety and then not care about them? First of all, feelings can't be easily explained. For those of y'all that are older, y'all understand that. Not that the younger crowd doesn't understand it, right? But the older crowd probably has experienced it more. I'm just assuming. Right? And so here's the thing. Here's the thing that I want you guys to know. Just because RJ was my guy
and I appreciate RJ, and I liked RJ as a Knick. Right now, he's the enemy. I don't care. It's over. But I had an attachment to what it was while he was here. The same thing with Quickly. Wiz says, "Did you cry at your first day of school?" Yes. Yeah, I cried, bro. I cried like a baby. They still tease me to this day. Yo, my homeboys, bro, Wiz, this thing happened. That happened in 1973, and they still tease me to this day, bro. They still tease me to this day, bro. That was 50 years ago. They still tease me. I'm talking about I cried the first month of school. So with that said, if some of the things that I say come across as mixed messages, don't mix the messages. Keep the messages separate. Right? That's where the confusion, like that's where a lot of confusion gets. Like when there are a number of messages being relayed, we mix them all together. And then once you get all the separate thoughts combined, it makes no sense. Right? It makes no sense. But if you understand like all these things are different, are separate thoughts, then you'll understand where I'm going with it. So secondly, and just as important, and there are some other thoughts too, because I'm going to get into it. I'm going to start the hype train, and the hype train is going to be unbelievable. Hector Rivera's in the building. Okay. So here's the thing that I liked today. A couple of things that I liked and a couple of things I didn't like. And I'll start with the thing I didn't like. I don't like the fact, right? I don't like the fact that Jalen Brunson can't facilitate and score in the same game. I don't like the fact that Jalen Brunson struggles facilitating and scoring in the same games. Now, with that said, this was a very tough defense, right? This is a very tough defense. So, we don't want to have this be his. People say you are what your resume says you are, right? So I don't want this to be an indictment on Jalen Brunson. Yo, what's good, man? How you doing, brother?
Sup, Freezy?
Ain't nothing to it, boss. Trying to get into this bag. Yeah, man. So I don't like the fact that Jalen Brunson struggles to facilitate and shoot at the same time. Right? And so
Right.
what I think the Knicks should do in this case is not ask Jalen Brunson to be that much of a facilitator since he shoots at an excellent clip. Right? What I would like to do is see the Knicks go get a guy to help with the facilitation so that we can continue to get the excellent shooting from Jalen Brunson.
Right.
Chat, what do y'all think about that, chat? Chat, what are y'all thoughts on Jalen Brunson struggling to facilitate at the same time as he scores? And if Jalen Brunson can't score and facilitate at the same time, should we choose one or the other, or is Uncle Freezy crazy?
Man. Can I just say something, Freezy?
Okay.
What if I told you back in November, I said, and I quote, the Knicks should trade Barrett and quickly for OG Anunoby. Look at what happens.
Look at what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what if I told you after this we're going to ask you to pick Powerball numbers? Just right after this, we're going to ask you to pick Powerball numbers, right? But
Right.
our thing though, at this moment, I'm asking everybody: should Jalen Brunson focus on being a primary playmaker, or is Jalen Brunson's scoring more valuable? Now, chat, here's the thing that you should take into account. Without Jalen Brunson's offense, we beat the number 1 team in the Western Conference. With Jalen Brunson's facilitation, we beat one of the top teams in the NBA. Monarch Smart TV is in the building. Chef NYK, what's good? King Ember, yeah, 14 assists. Yeah, and King Ember, this is the question that I'm asking you. Should Jalen Brunson give us 14-ish assists per game so that we win against elite teams, or should we go get a guy to give us the 14 assists or something like that per game and give us Jalen Brunson gives us his offense?
Yeah, speaking of elite teams, y'all were at home today and you knocked off the Timberwolves.
Right.
And
Right.
they are an elite team. I mean, look at what they've done.
Right. Hold on right there.
Why'd you on the beat?
Yo.
What's going on, superstar?
Superstar, man. So the
Close to
question,
the chat.
yeah. So the question is not dissecting Jalen Brunson, right? That's not what we're doing, right? So when they say, so when Keith Turner says, "Why y'all going in on Brunson or perfect Brunson teammate now?" Is that not that one? I saw another one. I saw another one somewhere. So basically it's not criticizing Brunson. That's not what we're doing. I'm asking the question of what version of Jalen Brunson is best, because it's still Jalen Brunson, right? It's not like we're trying to trade Jalen Brunson. I'm not trying to throw away Jalen Brunson. What I'm saying is, in games where Jalen Brunson and Randall score against big teams, we've lost. Now, mind you, the roster was different, right? But then in this game where Jalen Brunson facilitated and shared the ball, and y'all saw the ball movement for yourself. If you watched the game, you saw the ball movement yourself, right? I don't have to tell you how good the offense looked in terms of moving the ball. Did we shoot well? No. We played against an elite defense, right? But what I'm saying to you is does this version of Jalen Brunson, would you rather win against great teams with Jalen Brunson being a true point guard, or would you rather Jalen Brunson be a weapon and we bring in someone else? Is a question that I'm asking King Ribby. It's a tough question, right?
In my opinion, yeah, but in my opinion, I'd rather him be I'd rather we get somebody else.
Okay. Kev W in the building. He says, the best Brunson is the Brunson that figures it out during the game.
Half and half.
Yeah, but the thing about it is there is no half and half. There is no half and half. Either when we beat the Phoenix Suns, that man scored 50 and hit nine straight threes, was perfect from the field from three, right? When we beat Phoenix. And then when we played against Milwaukee, he scored a lot of points, but we didn't win. Against Boston, he scored a lot of points and we didn't win. Against this team today, Minnesota, right? He facilitated. And sure, the team missed a lot of shots. We didn't shoot the ball well today, right? But we won, right? We won today. The Knicks shot, where is it? The Knicks shot 43.8% from the floor. We were 39 of 89. We were 12 of 34 from three, and we missed 6 free throws. And Jalen Brunson today was 5 of 23 from the floor, 1 of 9 from three for 16 points. It took him 23 shots and 5 free throws to get 16 points, but he had 14 assists.
Yeah.
That's the Brunson burner.
If RJ had put up those type numbers, if RJ Barrett had put up those type numbers, we would have been talking so much trash about, and talking about the shooting numbers, by the way, not the assist numbers.
Facts.
Quiet money isn't not quiet money. No, quiet money. That's not what they said. They didn't say they were not going after Brunson. They said they wouldn't. I mean, they were not good. They did not say they were not going after Spider. They said they were not going all in after Spider.
Yeah, that's exactly what they said.
It's a difference. Yeah, it's a difference.
Yes, they not.
Yeah, there's a difference to that. I mean, come on, dog.
Draft picks and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, DJ Screwbox
exactly.
in the building. Yeah, DJ Screwbox says 14 assists though. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's why I'm asking the question. See, because to me, the 14 assists were the difference between the Knicks winning and losing this game. Right? And so if Jalen Brunson can do this on a continuous basis against great teams, then why not get this as a consistent thing every game?
Yeah.
Or is that too much to ask?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. The 14 assist thing is pretty much what benefited either the Knicks winning or losing this game against a team that has an elite defense. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Yeah, and that's why I'm asking the chat. Chat, tell me what you think. Would you rather a 18-10 Jalen Brunson that gets us wins against elite level teams? Maybe what if 18-10 from Brunson gets us wins over Boston and Milwaukee, as opposed to 50 points? How would y'all feel about
18 points and 10 assists?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and so here's my example. I want to give an example, right, of why I would say this, just for conversation purposes. I'm not complaining about a win. I would really rather just crank up the OG Anunoby hype train. But what I've seen, I saw two different things in a 3-day stretch, and I want to say something about it. In fairness, right? In fairness to the conversation, right? The other night, Jalen Brunson had 28 points and 6 assists against the Indiana Pacers in a high-paced game against a terrible defense, right? He had 6
Right.
assists against a terrible defense. He had 28 points. He shot the ball 22 times, and we lost by 14. And quite frankly, that we probably should have lost by 20, right?
Yeah, honestly, I
But
can
then,
agree with that.
but then 2 days later, Jalen Brunson in a game against an airtight defense gets 14 assists, and we knock off the best team in the Western Conference.
That being the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what you're saying is Brunson should look for more assists.
No, I'm not saying one way or the other. What I'm saying to you is that I can't figure it out, and so I'm asking y'all to help me figure it out. Right?
Brunson is a shooting guard. Is a shooting guard in a point guard's body. That's why he averaged 6 assists, 7 assists.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
You guys.
he facilitate, but not like a Halliburton and stuff like that. Like everybody imaginary playmakers.
Right.
He good though.
Yeah, and
He's
and
great.
and to your point, in that game that we lost against Indiana, in a free flowing game, their point guard got 21 assists.
Yeah.
Right.
But listen, that's why we need a point guard because I to be honest, in my opinion, I don't think McDeuce is ready. I ain't gonna front.
Right.
I'm sorry, Wiz, but he ain't ready.
And so I'm not bashing everybody. Listen, I'm not bashing Brunson because either version of Brunson is still Jalen Brunson. Either version, whichever version we get of Jalen Brunson is still Jalen Brunson. Right. So if Jalen Brunson decides to get 14 assists a game, it's still Jalen Brunson. Or if he decides to score 30 a game, it's still Jalen Brunson. What I'm asking is what I'm stating is it's beyond ironic that in a game that there is ball movement, that this team looks like a team that can make noise in the playoffs.
Exactly.
That experience. But again, in my opinion, we gotta make changes as far as because the bench unit, I don't like that too tough. In my opinion, once again.
Yeah, and Monarch Smart TV brings up the point. This is one of the things. So I did bring that up, and I did talk about it. I mentioned that he scored. Y'all remember me saying he scored 50 points and knocked down 9 threes?
Yeah,
I said that
Yes.
I said that like 5 or 6 minutes ago. But the thing about it is
it's hot.
No NBA player is going to average 50 points a game every night and knock down 9 3-pointers every night. So I consider that a one-off. Like
not to cut you off, a player did average that back in the days.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Not the threes though.
Yeah. And so what I'm saying is the one-off stuff. I'm not bringing up the one-off stuff, the random stuff. Like tonight, Jalen Brunson was excuse me, what, 5 for 23? I'm not bringing that up as
Sheesh.
a thing, right? Because I know Jalen Brunson is not going to be 5 for 23 on most nights, right? I think this is the one time this season that happens, and you won't see that again for a very, very, very long time. I don't think you'll
Facts.
see. I don't think you'll see that again from Jalen Brunson.
What if you see it next game?
Then he's in a slump, and he'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. Jalen Brunson's too good.
I know.
Jalen Brunson's too good. I don't want to speak to that because we all know Jalen Brunson is too good offensively to be 5 for 23, right? It's the reason why I didn't harp on the 50 point. I spoke to it, but I didn't drill down on it. Just like I'm not going to drill down on him being 5 for 23 because I know both occurrences are rare, right?
Facts.
What I'm saying is that what I'm asking in the chat, I'll just say, yo, you know what? I asked Clavins. He says JB is not a pure point guard. He missed shots that he normally makes. And so these are two totally separate thoughts. So he is not a pure point guard, meaning the 14 assist thing is not what he can do or what he does. And then he points to the scoring part. He missed shots that he normally makes. Right? So he's pointing out that Jalen Brunson is not a facilitator. And he's a scorer that missed a lot of shots tonight. Right?
Bro, come on, dog.
And so what I'll say to that is historically Jalen Brunson has not been a high assist man. Right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, Jalen Brunson has shown a propensity to do whatever it takes to win, regardless of what the team needs. Whatever the team needs, Jalen Brunson will do that to win. Right? And so if Quickly and RJ and Grimes and everybody else is struggling offensively, Jalen Brunson will take a lot of shots. Right?
Yeah.
If the defense is struggling, Jalen Brunson will take a lot of charges. Right? When we can't rebound, Jalen Brunson to get you a lot of rebounds.
Yeah.
Right? So what I'm asking, and listen, everybody, I'm not bashing Jalen Brunson. Trust me. What I'm saying is I noticed the offense, and we didn't hit shots like we should have, right? I think Jalen Brunson could have had 20 assists in this game if we knocked down shots, but we didn't. But we still found a way to win, right? We still found a way to win.
Yeah. Somehow against an elite defensive team.
Yeah. So, chat, tell me what you want. Do you like this feeling of beating top teams when Jalen Brunson is getting you 14 assists? Do you like that? Or do you think this is a mirage, flash in the pan thing, and Jalen Brunson should go back to being himself?
Nah, this is a mirage. He ain't like this. He's a scorer.
Okay. So is that what you like best?
I mean, he do other things, but I guess that's what we asked for. I'm not the front office.
Okay.
Because I wouldn't have drafted. I wouldn't have got JB.
Yeah.
Right. But
what we got, we asked for.
Right.
Yeah. I guess what I'm saying to you is I liked the diversity in his game. To see Jalen Brunson go out and get 14 assists shocked me today, especially when we were missing a lot of shots. It makes me think the loss to Indiana was a wake up call.
Honestly, I could agree with that. It certainly was a wake up call indeed, no doubt about it. I mean, if you guys ever need a good shooting guard, you can get Jared Butler from my boys. He's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. As a matter, speaking of which, we play you guys. When do we play you guys? Thursday, Friday? I think we play. I have the schedule pulled up here. I had it pulled up. Let me go back to it. So we play you guys Saturday. The Wizards.
Yes, Saturday at Capital One Arena.
Yep. So we play them Saturday. So.
Are you a Wizards fan?
Yeah, I'm a Wizards fan, but before my boys get to you, Freezy, we're in Cleveland twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And Monarch Smart says, hey, we were short players against Indiana. You really thought we was going to win that game. And so here's the thing with that. But here's the thing with that. Okay, the back-to-back part. Okay. See, that's where you can't. Okay. So if you ask me, do I think we can beat Indiana 7 days a week? Yes. I think we could beat Indiana 10 days a week. Right? And that's not even a real thing. But the back-to-back thing, knowing you're shorthanded, that's where our issue is. That's what the issue was. I think we could beat Indiana shorthanded. Indiana. There is no way Indiana's backcourt can guard Jalen Brunson with Nimmer, Halliburton, and Buddy Hield. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I know Halliburton has a reputation for being a defender, but no, he's not stopping Jalen Brunson, right? When that game happened, I knew it was because they played the night before in Orlando.
Now they got Mathurin to stop Jalen Brunson.
No, he ain't playing no defense. That's why he's coming off the bench.
I mean, he could have.
No, he ain't stopping no Jalen Brunson.
Jalen
Brunson's a borderline all-star, and Ben Mathurin is a young scorer with upside. And he'll be good one day, but not now.
Yeah, I'm just joking around, Reese. Come on, dog.
Right. No doubt. What ultimately, what I'm getting at is our personnel against their personnel. I think we should beat them 95 times out of 100, right? Because of our personnel, not because we have superior talent, but because we have things that are a bad matchup for finesse teams, right? We have big bully personnel that gives, like King Ribby. It's like hockey, bro. It's like hockey. When you watch hockey, when you like teams that like to skate and they have all these fast guys with long hair and these Swedish names, and they drive all these fancy, exotic sports cars, and you get them on the rink with a team that just likes to forecheck and back check. These dudes, they don't like that, bro. They don't like stuff like that. And that's what we are, right? We are a team that likes to mix it up, right? And so for those finesse teams like Phoenix, Indiana, teams that like to just get out and run, we give them fits because we're physical.
Exact. Hey, don't forget the Mavs. Can't leave Dallas out.
Yeah. And so that's the reason it went with the saying styles make fights. Right now, if we were to go up against a bigger, stronger, more physical team than us, then we have a issue because we don't have a clear advantage anywhere.
Yeah.
So That's all I'm saying. But the thing is, and that's what I'm saying about the Indiana thing, right? But in terms of Jalen Brunson tonight, I think he played a better game tonight or today, even though his shot wasn't there.
Yeah.
And say if his shot was there and he still got 14 assists, will we still have the same conversation? Absolutely. I would
Yeah,
absolutely have the
100%.
same conversation with you. Even if he scored 30 points, 14 assists. Would I be having the same conversation? Yes. Because he looked to facilitate more and we didn't hit shots and he was just missing the shots that the offense was providing for him.
Right.
And I know that doesn't make sense in a lot of people's minds because we look to the box score. We look at the box score and assume the box score tells the story of the game. In this game, it doesn't. Because Jalen Brunson had 14 assists. He could have had 20. Could have had 21 assists. But there was a lot of offense left on the floor tonight. There was a lot of offense left on the floor tonight.
Facts. And Freezy, you brought up Indiana a moment ago. They were in Milwaukee knocking off the Bucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so we just and ironically, everybody, the Knicks knocked off great teams on both the holidays. So we knocked off Minnesota today, and we knocked off the Bucks on Christmas. Those wins should be impressive. Are you not? Are you not entertained?
Oh, I am entertained, kind of like Indiana did.
Yeah. Oh, Julian Blum is in the chat. Julian Blum. Hey, JB, you're gonna enjoy. I have a Quentin Grimes thing that I'm gonna speak to, bro. I think you're gonna like it. I got a Grimes thing all queued up, bro. And it has something to do with the reemergence of Quentin Grimes. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna speak to the reemergence of Quentin Grimes in a little bit. But before that, I want to queue up the OG Anunoby hype train. I want to queue up the JP is in the building. JP, what's good, man?
Hey, can I just bring something up for a moment here, Freezy?
Yo.
Quiet Money a minute ago said JB is not a Supermax player. I don't know, Freezy. Do you think JB is a Supermax player?
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk. I'm already on a certain topic. I ain't gonna change topics.
Oh,
I ain't gonna do that because we get off track like that and we lose people. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I'll talk to Quiet Money about that one again. I don't know. I don't know, but in terms of the OG Anunoby hype train, get your tickets now. We're printing T-shirts, right? We're giving out bracelets for the OG Anunoby hype train. Get your autographed posters right now of OG Anunoby, right?
As I call him, the GOAT of the New York Knicks fam. You know.
Bim. So I'm gonna point out something to you guys, right? I want to point out something to you guys, right? Here's my thing. OG Anunoby dunked tonight 3 or 4 times in the half court. Right? Now, listen, I know you guys are not gonna believe this, right? Y'all are gonna say, no, Uncle Freezy. I would have seen an alien land a spaceship in Times Square before I see a Knicks small forward dunk 3 or 4 times in the half court in the game. No, I'm telling you, this actually occurred. Right? King Ribby, I know you loved the outgoing small forward, right? Me too. I did as well. But OG Anunoby fits in these Knicks systems, the offense, the defense, transition, rim protection, everything you need from a guy, OG Anunoby is you want threes from the corner?
Yeah.
You want dunks in traffic?
Mm-hmm.
OG Anunoby is that guy.
Yes, he is.
Yep. I think so. I think so. And tonight, even though, how can you, chat, how can you not respect a player that fouls out in his team debut?
Facts.
He came here and gave you everything he had. OG Anunoby, and I don't usually use the plus minus, right? But OG Anunoby for this Knicks team had the
Like
highest plus
16, right?
minus, right? He had the highest plus minus of anyone on the Knicks team in his debut. In his debut, he had the highest plus minus, and he didn't even finish the game.
Nah, you're joking, Freezy.
He fouled out. He fouled out.
Wow.
So here's the thing. Did he play a lot of minutes? Yes. He played 35 minutes. Jalen Brunson played 41 minutes. Randall played 36 minutes. I'm sorry, he played 35 minutes. Hartenstein played 39 minutes. The bench didn't really give us many minutes outside of Hart getting 29 minutes. Everybody else, was all right. But get the OG Anunoby hype train going. Right? Fallback haters was good. Yeah, he fouled out with 4:12 in the fourth quarter, and he still ended the game with the highest plus minus. When he left the game, we had the lead. We padded the lead. So even if he was in the game, his plus minus would have been higher.
Hold on, if I'm not mistaken, I thought him and what's this guy name? Dante had the same plus minus.
Nah.
Because when I checked, it was like 6 plus 16 or something like that.
Now ESPN has Anunoby at plus 19.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And what I'm saying to you is if you go by stats, right? If you go by stats, OG, okay. All right. And so for the haters, right? Right. RJ Barrett was averaging about 19 points a game. Right? Just for the haters, right? Just to make
Come on. Oh
just so that the haters can have their time in the sun also. Right?
Bro, I'm an RJ. And
yeah, RJ Barrett played for another team.
I know.
Yeah. RJ played for another team. So even though I liked him.
I was watching both games.
Yeah, well, it was good while it lasted. So but here's my thing. If you are now a fan of OG Anunoby, you have to bear with me on this. Reinvest your positive vibes into Quentin Grimes. Right? You have to reinvest your positive vibes into Quentin Grimes. Right? So I'm going to try not to call Quentin Grimes a ham sandwich because I see that with OG Anunoby here, Grimes can take a step back and not have to defend the other team's best player. Now Quentin Grimes can guard the other team's second or third best player and come off the bench. And now Quentin Grimes can become a balanced NBA player as opposed to being a NBA stopper. And then in limited time today, Quentin Grimes showed you that he can thrive in that role. Quentin Grimes missed one shot all night, right? Quentin Grimes got you 10 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, 2 of 3 from 3, 3 of 4 from the field on a night where Miles McBride didn't hit a shot. On a night where Josh Hart looked like he was, yeah. I loved Quentin Grimes' energy tonight, right? And I think Quentin Grimes can provide that energy now that OG Anunoby, who is a bigger, stronger, more athletic, more seasoned version of what we wish Grimes could be, right? We wish Quentin Grimes could be a 6'8" wing player that can pick his spots and score on low usage and defend the other team's best offensive player. And for those that really don't buy into that, I think it's just a misaimed hate of Grimes, right? But now that Quentin Grimes is in a role that's more suitable to him, right? Being in that defensive role, being the Robin to OG Anunoby's Batman on defense, I'm talking about. On defense, right? On defense, I'm talking about. Then I think we're about to get the very best of Quentin Grimes. Just in this role, though, right? Let's not overdo it, right? King Ribby, let's not overdo it, bro. We're not getting ready to start doing a Grimes hive and getting Grimes tattoos and all that stuff. What we're saying is if we let that dude just come along, right, with OG Anunoby here to be that guy now, a proven guy, let's not overdo it, right? I'm not getting ready to get Quentin Grimes tattooed across my throat, right? I'm going to relax, right? Right? But Grimes in this new role, I think can benefit us going forward, where at times, think about next season, right? Next season, King Ribby, we can put Deuce, Grimes, Anunoby, and Mitch on the floor at the same time.
I don't think that's gonna happen. My opinion again. I'm talking about as far as the Deuce.
Why would you say that? You're saying, okay, why would you say that then?
I think Tibbs is gonna get another player, like another point guard.
Well, why would he do that? Didn't they just extend him, bro? They just extended him Saturday.
That doesn't matter. Didn't they extend Sims?
When?
They did extend Sims.
When?
Probably like 2 months, like 2 months ago or something like that.
I don't know.
Yes, if you look on his contract, he got they extended him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look it up.
Why I gotta look at it? Why you can't just tell me?
The computer is right there in front of you.
You on your phone?
Yeah.
You on your phone, right? Your phone probably in your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Come on, content creator. Come on, content creator. So what I'm saying is if we keep our expectation of what Grimes can be in perspective, then I think Quentin Grimes can be a nice piece for us. I think he could be a nice piece for us. Right? The only thing is it's based on how OG Anunoby performs. Now, I think it's too late for OG Anunoby to make the All-Star team this year. Right? But what I will say is I think going forward, OG Anunoby for us is going to be 20 points, 7 rebounds, about 4 assists a game. That's a lot. Usually 3 teams don't have teams don't generally have 3 20-point per game scorers. I think OG Anunoby's efficiency is going to be, his consistency is going to be top shelf with us. We missed a lot of shots today, y'all. In a game that we impressed, we missed 50 shots today, y'all. King Ribby, we missed 50 shots in an NBA game, bro. And we still won. Right? And I understand how y'all feel about Grimes. Basically, with the chat, the vibe I'm getting for the chat, maybe except for 1 or 2 of y'all, is that y'all will believe it when y'all see it. And what I'm telling y'all is y'all saw it today. So believe it. If seeing is believing and you saw it, that means you're a believer. Right? King Ribby, is that not accurate? Is that not accurate? Rodney Atkins in the building. He says OG has great basketball IQ and his athleticism is lovely to see. I agree with you. And Keep Turner says, relax, bro. It was 10 points. No, it was not just 10 points, bro. It was 10 points on 4 shots. It was 10 points on 4 shots. Right? If that was RJ, it would have took him 8 shots to get to 10 points. 9 shots. The thing that I'm talking about is this. Right? Nobody is going to stop Anthony Edwards, right? I think we can all agree that nobody is going to stop Anthony Edwards. Right? But Mike Conley was 2 of 6 for 5 points. That's what I'm getting at. What I'm saying is by adding this guy, or let me rephrase, let me restate. Sometimes, okay, I don't want to say it like that. I don't want to sound all hyperbolic with a made up narrative. I don't like doing that. Let me just say this. The offense seemed to look better today without RJ Barrett. I'm just going to say that. And let me see. Manchild says, oh, shoot. Dang it. I meant to pick. Okay. Since we here. Grimes can go 12 for 15. He's still a sandwich. Facts don't matter to bozos. That's not the one I meant to click on, but since I didn't want to click. Julian Blum chose violence. So yeah, what I'm saying, what I'm getting at is the chemistry appears to be better offensively and defensively. and you could see it impact Julius Randle, Dante DiVincenzo, and Quentin Grimes.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson had an off shooting night, but we're not expecting Jalen Brunson to have many more off shooting nights.
It's not JB.
Right? I'm thinking by this time next season, OG Anunoby may be our best player or second best player by this time next season. Yep. DSJ, you heard me. DSJ says the Knicks offense looks significantly better, and specifically it looked better with RJ Barrett's replacement. I can't say that's all facts because this team missed 50 shots today. 50, bro. They missed 50 shots. The offense can't look better when a team missed 50 shots, bro. They were 39 for 89 from the floor. Now, if we're talking about the ball movement aspect of it, then I get it, right? But what before Corey Lee, I think, is that Lee backstage? Before Corey Lee come in and start talking about Queens get the money and all of that stuff, man. I'm merely gonna say, in the words of IKBM Dre, Josh Hart is the GOAT. Yo.
Yo. A lot is good, but salute Freezy, salute Ribby, salute to the chat.
Salute.
Hey, a lot of things are good, but Josh Hart is not good. and Tibbs almost let him kill us tonight. But we won. We handled business. It was rough. I was borderline begging for Grimes over Josh Hart at that point.
Yep. Me too. I was too.
It was like you kind of you see the logic, but I'm not gonna.
Did you see the play when he switched on to Rudy Gobert, bro?
Oh my god!
When he waved Josh Hart out, he waved Josh Hart out to the perimeter to guard whoever number 9 is, right? So that he could guard Rudy Gobert, bro.
And Tib, and I heard during the game, one of the coaches. The Alan Hahn said that Tibbs referred to Josh Hart as his best defender, and I was just like, I don't know what Tibbs seeing. At no point was Josh Hart a better defender than Quinn Grimes or even Dante.
Ever.
Like no, he's just not. And I think to even talk about like OG and the things that he done, I want to give Leon Rose his credit. I think that trade saved the perceived value of Quentin Grimes, because you feel like when you watch him play, it feels like there's a weight lifted off of his shoulders with the glut of guards out of the way, where he could actually just play and not focus on, am I going to get yanked as soon as possible. Granted, he's not going to play a ton of minutes. He's still going to get, I guess, around 20 now, but it was better than the 10 and sub 10 that he was getting with the glut that we did have. And going forward, I'm looking forward to the lineups where we have the requisite spacing that allows Julius and Brunson to just do whatever they need to do on the court.
Dre,
Because if you, yeah, go ahead, Freezy.
I'm gonna say this to you, bro. I got you. I got you on that. I'm gonna say this though. In one calendar year, OG Anunoby will be a top 50 NBA player. Book it. Book it.
He might be there by the end of the season, Freezy.
Book it, bro. There were some looks today that he passed up cordially, like you know, like you know how
He's like, I'm new here, so I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be super aggressive.
Yeah, yo, like when you go to somebody's house and you see the Hennessy over there on the shelf, right? And they like, help yourself, and you're like, nah, man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm company. I ain't ready to go over there.
Yeah, but I'm gonna just take a beer. I'm
gonna just drink this. It was like,
I ain't gonna crack open the Johnny Walker Black that you said I should.
Man, I'm not gonna take the plastic off the box and put. Nah, you know what I'm saying? I think that's what we saw today.
Yeah. He was very respectful. He came in your house and he took his shoes off instead of being
at the door too.
At the door, and he wiped his socks on the mat just to make sure there's nothing on his socks either.
yeah.
So, but some of that, I want to say, I think it's in his nature. I think Tibbs will try to attempt to bring that out of him to be more aggressive, because at sometimes, like, his usage was 14 on the Raptors, right?
Yep.
There aren't that many players better than him on the Raptors, and sometimes he decides to fade to the black and fade to the back, where he's gonna have to be more assertive on his team just to fill those usage roles. And how we play, it's gonna be him getting a lot of opportunities at the catch and shoot, and it's gonna be him getting opportunities in some pick and roll, because they're gonna run those same pistol actions that they gave RJ. They're gonna run it for him.
Right.
They're gonna have him going downhill. They're gonna cause switches. Like, they're gonna have him come up and set screens for Brunson, and sometimes teams will trap Brunson and they'll have him going downhill and making decisions. So, like, I think he's gonna have to be more assertive, and I feel like he'll get there.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about something else. Yeah, we need another guard, Freezy. Well, another.
I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. I just want to. I'm gonna get to that because I actually have three topics that I have lined up. Add another guard. Yeah. Add another guard. Right. The OG Anunoby hype train, and the difference that a big man that screens well provides for a team. Right. Excuse me. Today, I don't know if y'all noticed, but Precious Achiuwa screened some guys today, bro, that reset Minnesota's defense, bro.
Yeah.
Guys flying around the ball, right. Not with it now. When you trying to fly around, but you got to have your head on the swivel. You do a little bit more carefully. You know what I'm saying? Now,
I think tonight was really a bad match for Precious, because he's not gonna go against Rudy Gobert on the glass every night. So
or in the paint every night. Yeah. You know, I get that. I just want to say this though about the OG Anunoby thing. The mere fact that when Minnesota went to zone, remember they went zone up top. They did a weird zone where they had 2 men up top, Gobert in the paint.
It was a matchup zone.
Yeah, and their two wing players chased the scorers around the floor. Yeah. Right? It's some weird inverted triangle into type zone that they were running, right? Because they had Anthony Edwards and McDaniels chasing people, and everybody else was like in this triangle with a foot outside the paint, to try to stop Randall from getting where he wants to go and all of that stuff. OG Anunoby got 3 dunks out of that, bro. Whereas RJ Barrett would have clanked perimeter 3-point shots. Right? And against zone, think about this. Against zone, RJ Barrett is an outside shooter, right? Against a zone concept, OG Anunoby got 3 dunks. Right?
And it was overt. Like, he was just there standing and he just went up.
He
I
just
think
grabbed it
RJ,
and just dunked. Yeah.
yeah, it's something that like RJ just physically cannot do.
Yeah.
Because once he gets among the trees, he gets so easily intimidated. He alters his shot and
Right.
he starts flipping it at the rim instead of just going up strong. But he can't go up strong because he just doesn't possess that level of explosion.
RJ Barrett dunking is like watching a rocket take off.
I saw
It's
I
like,
this I saw this review.
stand by for liftoff, T minus, all that stuff for this dude just to jump.
I saw a statistic, Rudy. OG Anunoby had 3 half court dunks in the first half.
Right.
RJ has 2 all year in half court.
Bro,
He has 2 dunks all year in the half court.
bro, this is what I'm saying. and mind you, and chat, hear me out. Hear me out on this. Mind you, this is against the number 1 rated defense in the NBA. B, against a guy that's a multiple time defensive player of the year winner. I think he won it once or twice, right?
3
times.
He's
right?
getting the 4th time this year.
Right. And he did it with 2 centers and another 6'10" guy on the floor. Right? Now, while all these minutia may not make sense to a lot of people, bro, what I'm saying is it's not about overpowering and all. It's about being smart. It's about knowing how to play basketball. Right? This dude is faking one way, making the center look that way, go behind the center. By the center turned around, he already dunking.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the small things.
And it's the gravity. Because number one, you have to honor his 3-point shot, especially from the corners. So, and to be absolutely honest, no matter where Randall or Brunson are on the court, they command attention.
Right.
And when you combine that with the fact that Dante is on a heater right now from 3, he could sneak behind defenders, get looks, and just go straight up. Whereas if RJ were to sneak behind, they already know he's coming there because they don't respect his jumper.
First of all, because it take all night for him to get there. They could take a nap and wake up, and he's still on the way.
But it's like, if you get what I'm saying, he can't sneak into the paint because teams are already sagging off, waiting in the paint for him.
Yeah, but the thing, even if he fooled them, bro, they can legit lay down and file their taxes and get up, and he still won't be there.
With the green visor?
Yo, it's crazy how we won a game and I still just talk about RJ. Like, this is crazy.
No, it's a comparison. It's a
But
comparison.
y'all still talking about it, bro. Like, what's up with y'all? Like,
we do it all the time. It's like, which Brooklyn rapper do you like the best, Designer or Biggie?
Oh my God.
Right? You know what I'm saying? It's just a comparison.
So and RJ the RJ Designer, right? It's just
no,
crazy. Like,
no.
Yes,
RJ Lil Cease, man.
No, that's not what I put the emphasis on the word comparison. Dre, did I not put the word on the word comparison?
God, man.
I didn't say RJ is at the game talking about Timmy Turner. No, I said comparison. Right? I'm not kicking RJ Barrett in his back because he out the door. I mean,
yes, you is.
RJ Barrett is a Toronto Raptor, bro.
For the past 7 to 10 minutes, I've been hearing just RJ's name, like for real, and that's why I put my phone on mute on the mic. I'm like, are you? They serious? Like, wow, like, yeah, they're not going to talk about the game or nothing. Just RJ. No, quickly, just nothing, just RJ, like, wow. But go ahead, continue your conversation.
He's a Toronto Raptor. He's a Toronto Raptor, bro.
I know.
He's a Toronto Raptor.
I'll just say OG fits what we're trying to do. If we're trying to win now, he is the ideal. We don't have the 3 years to wait for RJ to.
RJ is going into RJ going into his 6th season. He going into his 6th season and they want us to wait 4 more years, bro. RJ Barrett he's Trinidad James, bro.
All right, so can we talk about like the 2 spot
OG,
instead of talk about
we was talking about OG Anunoby, and then all of a sudden you brought up
OG is the
Trinidad
3.
James.
OG is the 3.
I know that. We were talking about OG Anunoby getting dunks in the half court. Dre, is that not what we were talking about?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you know, you interrupted us talking about designer.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Come on, bro. I mean, the dude, he's a Toronto Raptor. I appreciate what he did while he here, but he gone, bro.
You know what's so crazy? And mark my words. Yo, Dre.
Yeah.
Listen, just hear me out. In a good year or 2, when when Julius is traded, I want to see your energy.
Well,
You know
are
what
you
I'm gonna be
talking
doing?
about me or Freezy?
No, Freezy. I want to see Freezy's energy.
You know what I'm gonna
Like,
you
for
know
real,
what I'm
for
gonna say
real.
about, and you know what I'm gonna say about Randall when he get traded? I'm gonna be like, hey, Randall here with that whopped ass edge up. I hear that beard that don't connect.
Yeah, all right.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking,
all right.
bro. I'm telling
You
you, bro.
probably not even gonna do the pod for a day.
Nah, man.
I'm telling
Come
you.
on, bro.
It's
All
the
right.
front of the jersey, not the back with Freezy.
Yeah, bro. Come on,
Okay.
man. This is too easy. Come on, bro. This is too easy, bro. This is too. Let's talk about we talk about the Knicks, bro. It's the Knicks we talking about, man. Listen, RJ Barrett was before y'all was even on social media. I was getting killed on Twitter for saying the Knicks should tank for RJ Barrett. Right? People were telling me, asking me, who the heck is RJ Barrett?
And 5 years later, RJ is trash.
And he's not a Knick.
He's the ops now.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Bro, I'm saying, yo, loyalty is a bizarre thing, bro. Loyalty is a bizarre thing. I mean, it's one of those things where
Thanks for being loyal.
loyalty has boundaries. Once you cross that boundary, that's a bridge too far for me. I'm not gonna root for you because you used to play for us and now you play for another team. No, I'm not. I didn't even root for Pat Ewing when he was in Seattle. He was just another dude, bro, to me. He wasn't even public enemy number 1. He was just a random guy on a team that had ugly uniforms. I'm sorry. And y'all know how y'all know, bro. So chat. Here's the thing. Y'all know I'm loyal to people, right? Like I stand my distance for a long time, and I vet, right? But then once I lock in, I'm loyal for life, right? I'm super good unless somebody does something so egregious that you know what I'm saying, it makes no sense, right? Like with King Ribby, like when King Ribby get on, and when King Ribby was in the chat, he'd be talking. I was like, let me read King Ribby thing, and I'm like, King Ribby, why don't you come on, bro? We talk, King, and when he started talking, I just be quiet, just shut up and let him talk. Did I not do Ribby? Did I not do that?
Yeah.
But was we good before you even came up here?
Yeah.
That's just how Dre. Same thing with Dre. Dre when you first came. Listen, I know we got an open platform, right? But somebody say something bad about King Ribby, I boot them straight out the thing. They're like, I don't know what happened. When I was trying to spell Ribby, and the next thing you know, I'm booted off YouTube. Yeah.
Nah, let them say. I don't care about that.
It ain't. But this ain't about you. Stop being selfish. I'm talking about myself.
Oh, okay, my fault.
Right. Everything can't be about King Ribby, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but the point that I'm getting at is why do I have to be loyal to RJ when we have OG Anunoby here? Can I not just recalibrate and celebrate this young, bouncy, athletic wing with the super cool name coming in the door, dunking in the half court, doing all the stuff that we've been wanting for years.
You don't miss Quickly?
I missed him when he was out the door. I saw him play. As soon as I saw him with that uniform on, he was nothing to me. As soon as I saw him in that Raptors 5, I was like, yeah, he looked like a random combo guard up somebody's bench. He might be all right. That's just how I am. I'm loyal to my yo. Think about it. As much as me and Julian Blum will argue, nobody better not say a bad word about Julian Blum around me. Period. That's just how I am with it. And,
even if you disagree with Sherwin, nobody can.
Even if I disagree with Sherwin, nobody better not say a thing about Sherwin around me. And y'all know how I am. Same thing with Kerry Cox and Parrish and everybody. You know what I'm saying? Once you go play for the other team, bro, you the other team. It's just what it is. That's just how I am. Is that not how you want your King Ribby? Is that how you want your people to? You want me to be flaky?
Nah, hell no.
That's what I'm saying. RJ gone, bro. He that slow robotic dude that play for another team now.
I'm not gonna lie. I was away. I was away with some family, and I had League Pass on my phone, so I tuned into the Raptors game, and it's just like, yo, he's doing the exact same things he did here over there, like down to the T.
Yeah,
and he might make positive plays, but the process is still kind of clunky.
Yeah,
he had like 5 turnovers.
Yeah,
1 assist.
He missed a bunny at the rim. He got off as a rebound and put it back, but yeah.
It was just the same process. It just didn't look like it fit. And I don't know if he's in their long-term plans, maybe for the next year or two. But it's not our problem anymore, I guess.
Yo, the Knicks really waived the Russian dude already?
Oh yeah, that means Jericho Sims is all right. That's all it means.
That mean what? I'm sorry.
GI wants to come and chat.
Okay.
That means Jericho Sims is all right, he said.
Okay.
That 7-1 guy?
Just send it to GI
from Eddie. I know basketball. You remember when Whoopi passed the ball to him and hit him in the face? Y'all don't remember that movie, Eddie? To me, if there's any basketball movie that is accurate to a T, Eddie is what the Knicks were like.
I wanted to mention one other thing. I think Tibbs is so pro defense that he's like blind to the fact that sometimes you just got to score more points than the other team.
Yeah.
And Josh Hart is in the way of scoring more points than the other team. Sometimes.
Why you don't like Josh Hart, man?
Josh Hart would be fine to me if he was still making the same amount of money and we didn't give up a first round pick for him. But because we gave up a first, and essentially he basically cost 2 first round picks.
Yeah.
And we paid him $80 million. It feels like I didn't get the return on the investment.
Right.
Like we pay for him at his highest price. Like if he played exactly how we did last year, like very efficient, like 10 points on his what was he shooting? 56% from the field, 57% from the field,
and 51% from 3.
Then that would be cool. But I'm not even getting 35% from 3.
Yeah.
I'm not getting defense. I'm not getting efficiency.
Right.
So it's just like I'm committing all this money to an energy guy, and he actually doesn't fit that well next to Julius or Brunson.
No.
I thought he was here because of defense.
We thought he was a good defender. Tibbs thinks he's a good defender, but he's not really a good defender.
He's not a good defender.
Do you know how many? As soon as OG was off the court, I fit damn near 25 Anthony Edwards points came just straight off of him abusing Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, yeah, he was, he was
As
killing
soon as
Josh
he
Hart.
saw Hart in the game, he went straight at him and directly to the rim. Beeline,
Right.
interstate, I-95.
Yep.
And it's just
All right.
like, yo, I can't do it.
Hey, let me
But
bring my
salute
guy
to
up
him.
real quick. I'm gonna bring my guy up real quick. Hold on for just a split second.
Salute,
Salute,
GI.
GI.
Happy New Year.
Good evening, gentlemen. Mic check two. Is my mic good? Am I good?
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
You good, man?
First of all, I want to say
New
y'all
Year.
been holding it down. It's become the Knicks middle of the night drive. The Knicks. I see y'all one time from 1 in the morning to 7 in the morning. I'm like, yeah, nah, I never.
Yeah, man.
This evening I woke up. I don't know if it's the Christmas gift. I'm not gonna be long. I'm gonna rock out with the show tonight, though. Definitely about to, indulge in a little Mary Jane. But listen to me. How long have I been asking for a really large ring? Pause. It's been a while, guys. Come on, man. Y'all have been rocking that with y'all, man. I'm part of the Blondes Tears Network, man. I'm a proud member, man. I got badges here, little rank and file, and I've been begging for a big wing, man. And watch that team tonight. I don't want to change. I don't want no. When I started texting my boys saying it was the greatest trade ever, they said, "Yo, man, you traded for Walt Clyde Frazier." I said, "You heard me, man. This is the greatest trade ever." They're like, "Yeah, we're not gonna talk to you for a few days." I said, "No, you're not gonna talk to me for a few months. We have a championship quality. We have a championship quality team, and I dare somebody to challenge me on it. And you're not gonna prove to me until this next year, this time, Trick, that we need to change anything. And whatever they do can only get better. I have not been this happy a Knicks fan since 1992. Good evening, fellas. Thanks for having me. And
That's
happy
my
New Year.
birthday.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Salute, GI.
Yeah, man.
Salute.
G Money was good, boss.
What's going on? What's shaking and baking, man? What's going on? Well, OG Anunoby was shaking and baking tonight. I mean, last night, I should say. His defense was on point. He put Ant-Man in jail. I know Ant-Man had 35 points. At the same time, this is when eye test comes in. Don't just look at the numbers. Ant-Man was killing Josh Hart. So
Destroying that man.
he was barbecuing him, Cajun cooking Josh Hart. At the same time, when OG was on him, Ant-Man was lost in the sauce. I mean, got away from the paint. Ant-Man was missing shots in the elbow and OG just played great hard-nosed defense. And his corner 3-point shooting, man, it's like butter. OG 3-point corner shooting is like butter, man. I mean, I like the OG and Anunoby trade. Julius Randle, the Randle Rage Rover, had a whole lot of gas in the tank, man. Man, banging guys in the post. His 3-ball was huge and showed you why when his head is on straight, he is a bad MFer. Man, it was a Randall rampage in this game. I mean, Brunson, his jumper, the only time he got hot in the game was in the second quarter. Ironically, all 5 buckets was in that second quarter. Other than that, he was struggling offensively. At the same time, his 14 dishes. I love his hockey assist, threading the needle, swing around passing. I thought Jalen Brunson had a good game as far as playmaking wise, I should say, and get guys involved. Dante had a state game, so yeah. And like what Sharon says, OG is a good team player, and he's very high IQ too, and he's also humble. OG is also pretty humble too, so it was a good win for the Knicks, though. I mean, being the best team record-wise in the West, gut check win for New York.
What about the topic though? OG Anunoby.
What makes what
What's
does he
your
makes
thought-
for us?
What's your thought on OG Anunoby and what he provide going forward?
I love it. Can shoot the corner 3, athletic, can jump off the gym, can finish at the rim. It's a junkyard dog on ball. His point of attack defense is good. I love OG Anunoby. OG, oh baby, I love it.
The man guarded 2 players tonight. He guarded 2
and
players.
King Ember, I love the blocks too. Yeah.
He guarded 2 players tonight. 2 players. If he wasn't guarding Karl Anthony Towns, he was guarding Anthony Edwards. I've never seen nothing like that. I've never seen versatility.
Not on the Knicks. Not on the Knicks.
Yeah, and so the thing is with guys like OG Anunoby, there was a play where he got a deflection that led to a Brunson steal and a Randall layup and one at the other end, right? And so, excuse me. And so while most Knicks fans were excited about Randall finishing at the cup, getting the and one, it all started with an OG Anunoby deflection.
Yep.
Right. And so while Randall gets the points and Brunson gets the steal, I'm talking about in the box score, right? A deflection is not going to show up like that in the box score.
No, it shows up as a steal for you.
Okay. So
if you deflected it and it turned into your teammate.
Yeah, that was OG's
steal.
It was OG's steal, Brunson's assist, and Randall's amazing finish.
Yeah. That's the order.
Yeah,
that's the
and
order.
also Hardenstein,
but
also I heard blocking. Sorry, my fault.
Do you mind? I'm just talking about the OG Anunoby impact just real quick though. The thing is with the OG Anunoby impact, I think we can expect to see the impact the impact around the floor that OG Anunoby has, and who that impacts directly as a byproduct.
Yeah,
as a byproduct is Quentin Grimes. Now Quentin Grimes doesn't have to be the number one defender against teams and get roasted by Jason Tatum and guys like that. Now you can see Quentin Grimes on guys like Drew Holiday, on guys on secondary scorers, and to me that benefits the Knicks more than it would if you saw Quentin Grimes constantly getting roasted by either Tatum or Brown, and then it makes Quentin Grimes look like a bad defender. Now that you could put Grimes on a guy and have OG Anunoby on a bigger guy, and even Randall in that mix too. When he locks in, now you can have Grimes do other stuff, build his confidence, man. Knock down. He only missed 1 shot tonight, man.
Grimes was steady tonight.
Kelly said drop the link. Yeah. Rocket, what's good, man?
Salute family, salute family.
Rocket,
what up, G Money? What up?
Rocket, salute, baby.
What's shit? What's cracking, slacking, cool cat? What's going on?
We back, man. We back.
Yeah, man.
Happy New Year's, y'all.
Happy New
Year.
We started off the year with a nice bang, you know. For sure. Some new blood on the team, you know. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. I'm impressed by this team's resilience. Let me put it that way. Because just 2 nights ago we lost to Indiana, and tonight yesterday we beat Minnesota.
Yeah, the system is in place, man. We just gotta, we stick with the pieces we got, and we just build on that. Like, no need to get flustered, no need to panic ever. Like, we got this.
And also the Hardenstein.
Oh no, that was a panic trade. Oh no, that was the panic trade. Oh no, Dre.
Right.
Dre
because once Mitchell Robinson went down, once Mitchell Robinson went down, we know the season.
Yeah, but you can't say not panic then. It was a panic. It was panic time, Rocket. It was panic time.
We can't lose the season though. I don't want to necessarily panic all the way, but we can't lose the season. We had an eye on. We had an eye on
this move. This move
had
was amazing
for a minute.
Yeah, but this move was amazing, Rocket. But I just got to correct one thing you said. It was absolute panic time. We was about to get washed by everybody. The young team was looking at. Hold on, Rocket. Hold on. Let me let you rock. Then let me let you rock. Can't let you say it wasn't panic time. It was absolutely panic time.
Yeah.
Just not to lose the season. I mean, when Mitchell Robinson went down, you saw everybody started folding. Like Jericho Sims went down.
Long as you're willing to say it was panic time, No, as long as you're
I'm
willing to
saying.
say it's panic time. If not, we got to debate that, Rocky, respectfully.
I would say,
Did you see how
I would
OKC?
say,
Did,
I would say,
did you
I
see
would
how
say,
teams
It
is
was
running
kind of
down
panic
our
trade.
throat?
It was.
pause. But I
Pause.
think,
Pause, Dre.
but I think it was a trade of urgency. I think panic would be like if we panicked, we would have gave up first rounders.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
we only gave up a
Good
second
point too.
rounder. We gave up quickly, of course. But RJ, we didn't go
A
jump out the
panic would
window
have been
when
like a crazy overpay.
yeah,
Like
like we didn't
it's just,
trade all our assets away. We still have assets moving into
I,
the
you
new
guys
the
don't think
year.
we could have got this? You guys don't think we could have got this trade 2 weeks ago? I think they wanted it cheaper. I think they wanted one
nah,
for one. I
no,
think
one
they
for
wanted
who?
this cheap. I think they
One
wanted
for who?
RJ for. I think they wanted
Heck,
RJ for nobly. Let me
nah.
finish, man. Please.
Mm-hmm.
My
Go ahead.
fault.
This
My
is
fault.
why
My
we
fault, Gi.
this is why we kept all our cards on deck.
My
You
This
know,
is
fault,
why
this
we
Gi.
is
kept,
this is why we miscommunicating because G, I just wanted to finish just a
Yeah,
certain
let Gi
thing, man.
finish. My
Yeah.
fault.
yeah.
Let him talk. Let him talk. Yeah.
We have a $10 million lawsuit going on with the Rockets right now. If
Raptors.
the Rockets,
Rap.
I mean with the Raptors, sorry.
Raptors.
If the Raptors weren't willing to pull this trade a long time ago, it's on. We just didn't want to pull the trade. It's evident
Right.
the Rockets. I mean the Raptors were willing to give us OG, Malachi for no first rounders. That means this was the highest price. We were in bad shape. We were giving up 140 points. We were giving up 35, 40 points a quarter with no problem. We were in bad shape. I need to go back and look at the stats, and then all of a sudden tonight it changed. We had no choice.
Mm-hmm.
If we would have went out there 5 or 6 more games like that, the message would have been out. Run it down their throats. Just keep pressing on the Knicks. Every team was just running at us. We were in absolute desperation mode. We were in a tailspin. This management, it just you can't take away from what this management is doing. This management makes the moves when they need to make them and not before. And I'm sitting back minding my business because they have done nothing but improve this organization. And I'm a proud fan.
Facts.
I agree to a lot of things you said, but RJ and OG were never going to be a 1-for-1 trade because
Yeah.
OG is
No.
just a far superior player. And if you're trying to win a championship, Raptors
Oh
are
yeah.
not trying to win one right now. You need an OG more than you need an RJ, to be absolutely honest. Which is why Quickly was in the deal to begin with. Because Quickly, to be absolutely honest, while RJ mean a lot to the Raptors from a marketing standpoint, Quickly is the superior basketball player, and who they're probably going to aim to build with Scotty Barnes with, rather than like RJ is probably the most expendable one out of the deal. To be
Yeah,
honest,
we rode that train as long as we could ride it for real. Like we rode it till the wheels fell off. Like all those players were playing out of position. RJ was playing out of position. Quickly
I
was
just
playing
think
out of
once
Agreed.
position. Like yeah, like
Agreed.
I just think
and
once we knew that
the wear and tear was showing. It was starting to show for real.
Yeah.
it's been showing for years that we wasn't going to be able to win with small players like this. But my only thing is, I will say this. I do believe the FIBA basketball and RJ getting Canada into the next and into the playoffs meant that into the World Cup, the Olympics meant that RJ had more value for Canada, and that's a Canadian fan base. So it really helps their marketing, which is always important in the politics side of it. So, but I just cannot believe they couldn't get this done at the beginning of the season. And I just really think the Knicks really wanted to win with RJ and that team. I just do not think they believed they needed OG until they saw it crashing the way it's crashing. That's just my opinion. And,
I think
we
the
agree to
Orlando
disagree.
game. I think the Orlando game got the Knicks on the phone. Like, hey man, let's do this deal right now. We can't go any farther with this.
we too small.
That's
Especially
true.
with
That's true.
Minnesota coming up Monday on a nationally televised game on a holiday.
Yeah,
Right.
our
And that to me
schedule
is
is
desperation.
crazy.
That
Our
Yeah.
means
schedule is
desperation to me, Freezy.
we got
Right.
one of the hardest schedules in the league. Like
Yeah.
It's gonna ease up real soon though. Like
yeah, we got through pretty
after
much
this
the
next
roughest
road
part.
trip, we got 12 out of the next 14 on the road.
Yeah, we got through
At
pretty
home,
much the roughest
that is.
stretch.
at home, which is nice.
We've been weathering the storm. I don't know how we've been weathering it, but we've been doing it. Like with the pieces that we've had, and it had to put out
We doing it with
game
glue,
in
man.
game in, game out. We've been doing it. But everybody's been playing out of position. I think like this trade had to be done to like get the pieces kind of back in order. Like we needed a backup for Randall. We needed
That's true.
once Mr. Robinson went down, Jericho Sims, he went down, and it was like we went to get Taj, but Taj, you see how Taj is laboring. Like, come on, he's a coach.
He's a
He's pretty
grandpa.
much a coach. He's a coach. He's a player coach.
Mhm.
Like, come on.
He's Haslam. He's our Haslam.
Yeah, like
He's our UD. And another guy too, I gotta give a holy clap. Isaiah Swattenstein. I have a new name for Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Swattenstein. Meaning that he likes the block shots. Isaiah Swattenstein was
amazing.
volleyball spiking
Exactly.
Gobert 3 times.
Gobert, he had Gobert on his heels.
Tell me about it. Get that
Just
garbage
doesn't
out
have
of
the
town.
athleticism. He just doesn't have the athleticism of Mitch, but he's a
But he has
phenomenal
he
backup.
has
I
the
don't ever
smarts
want to
though.
lose him.
And you know,
I don't wanna lose him.
OG, because OG is so good defensively, it allows Hartenstein to have just that extra beat to catch up on a play. Like one of the plays that Gobert got blocked on, OG slowed up Gobert in the first place. Then Hartenstein came from behind and blocked it. If you
Yeah, you
notice,
see what he was doing to
That's
Anthony
true.
Edwards. Like, that's not an easy feat to keep those guys in check like that. Like,
hypothetically speaking, if we had anybody else in position for that play, Gobert would have just dunked it straight up.
exactly.
As a
I
matter of
think
fact,
so.
we did have somebody in that position, and Gobert dunked on Josh Hart.
Oh,
You remember that
Ooh.
when Josh Hart switched on
Oh, yeah.
Gobert, and all he did was just turn around and dunk on it. All he
But
did
I
was just
will-
turn around
the
and
Shaq pivot drop step on Josh Hart. Like,
But hold
Word.
on. I do got to do this because when I came in, Dre was cooking Josh Hart. Let me say this about Josh Hart. Brunson right now, you got him 2 more years on this cheap contract. I think Josh Hart, his homeboy playing next to him, is part of the reason he took a pay cut to bring some of his players with him. Why can't he? Why can LeBron do it, but Brunson can't? So
you know
a
how
couple
I view-
players. Hold on,
My
Dre.
fault.
Hold on, real quick.
Go ahead. Cook.
Yeah, I just think a couple players that DiVincenzo, Brunson, Hart. Y'all gotta understand that Brunson's just superstar. If he want a couple of his guys with him, you might get stuck with a couple. Hart in the second unit is gonna push that ball. He makes the game a little easier for Grimes. I'm shutting up here.
Even Archie, what's his name? Even Archie,
nah.
like they all give them the battery.
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Oh my God!
They put that battery, so they that battery in their
It's
back so
Brunson's
good.
team, y'all.
You
It's
know what's
Brunson's
funny?
team.
You know what's funny about Ryan Arcidiacono? They showed a clip of like OG putting on his jersey for the first time, and Archie came over to say hi to him. I'm just like, why they got the bummiest dude on the team talking to OG? You couldn't get like Randall or somebody to talk to
you
him?
couldn't have Clyde Frazier walk over there.
Or you got Ryan Arcidiacono.
Ain't
Clyde's
Clyde's staying in the islands this time of year.
Yeah, I was gonna say the way I cope with the Josh Hart contract, I look at it like it's a package deal with Dante, where it's like Dante and Josh Hart together make 28 million instead of Josh Hart making 18. That hurts me worse.
There you go.
It hurts me worse when you look at it. Just
There you
Josh
go.
Hart.
And don't
making
forget
18 to
Brunson
20
took a
million.
pay cut. Look how much you pay for
sure.
Brunson versus what other people what they pay for Halliburton. Look at what you pay for Brunson. Look at what they pay for Halliburton. There you go.
Man, I might be like being picky about it, but Brunson could have had 22 assists tonight.
He could have had, yeah.
But his mentality was that I need to score, and I need to get these points. Like if he was just, but I think some of that had to do with the fact, to be absolutely honest, Josh Hart's on the court, so that's automatically not a scorer. So you got to take shots.
I believe. I will say this. I believe Brunson is playing for his All-Star, his next contract. I think he expects to break the bank in New York City, and he probably would deserve to. I think he's trying to do it, take the path where he earns it, and that's pretty cool. It's going to be a cool story, but I believe everything he does is to make sure he makes that All-Star game. And Julius Randle too. I believe they're both on a mission, and they found a guy in OG who's humble enough to play a third role and not need 19 shots like RJ to get 19 points. This is a miracle in the making.
And
I agree.
he brings a championship ring. He got to sit on that bench. He got, you know, and he got
He
to bring
saw
that.
greatness up close.
He got the saw. He got a taste. So he brings that championship ring in there, and all of that too. All that counts to something. It amounts to something, regardless of whatever, you know.
So I gotta ask a question to the panel, just to see where we are as an organization. The question is, and I'd like for G Money to go first. Is G Money still? G Money dipped out. Okay, all right.
He probably
So
had a connection issue. He'll be back. He'll be
probably
right
had a
back.
phone call or
No,
something.
he said he had got to go in the chat.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
and he
All right.
wishes
So
Happy New Year.
I'm gonna ask King Ribby first, right? And then I'm gonna ask everybody just to allow others to finish their thought, right? With the addition of OG Anunoby, how close are the Knicks to being a legitimate title contender? And I mean, and when I say title contender, I don't mean, yo, we might make the second round. No, I'm talking about guaranteed to be in a game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals. With the addition of OG Anunoby, how close are we to sniffing the NBA Finals?
I think we need. Oh, you asked Ribby first.
Yeah, Ribby, yeah.
My fault. Is Ribby here? I don't know if he's here.
Yeah.
Oh, he's thinking.
This is a great question, by the way. Thank you for this.
Yep.
I think all right, to be honest, I think we're not gonna do nothing this season. But if we talk about next season, if we like do like a little package and get a good another wing or shooting guard, that's probably like the height size matters. So probably like 6'8", 6'9", or something like that. Because this just not to say like this like that, but he not. I don't think he's gonna.
Say what you gonna say, man. Let's go.
Like,
I think he just thinking about it. Like,
no, it's not that. It's like we need another defender because like in a tall one because like
Precious, we got Precious too. Don't forget
no,
about
but
him.
he nah, man.
No, don't interrupt Rocky. Let him cook already.
He's too short. Like I mean, he we need like a twitchy defender that's like tall, like probably like not to bring him up, but like a Brandon Ingram or something like that, like something like his size to take that next step. And then I could see us going far.
Okay. All right. Mr. Rocket, what you thinking? How close are we?
I think OG just, put a band-aid on what we just, he stopped the bleeding for right now. Like, I think we still in the same space that we were in prior to the trade. Like, he moves the needle. If we would have got him when we still had those pieces off the bench, like our bench took a hit with quickly. Like, all right, Grimes is going to have to step up his game. Like, Grimes is going to have to fill a lot of that, all that timid stuff that he's been doing all season. It's gonna have to stop now. Like he's gonna have to show face. Deuce McBride too. Like the training wheels is off for these guys. Like these pieces off the bench are gonna have to step up if we're gonna be talking about, playoff contention and stuff like that and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys, the training wheels are off for these guys. This is like the last go for them. Like we're gonna have to show and prove now. Like.
Okay.
Jericho Sims too, like, all right, he's coming, this is his second injury. Like, all right, the shoulder injury for one, and now the ankle. Like he's gonna have to like all that lethargic, calm, cool, and collective stuff that's gonna have to go too. Like we need the dogs that we have in the building. They'll have to step up to the plate and go.
Okay. All right. So real quick, I'm obligated to play this man's theme music when he enters the building, unless he's gonna come in and start screaming Utica, Utica, Utica.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out. Down in the deep of my mind, I cry for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I cry for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you.
Utica, Utica, Utica.
Ah, he did it anyway.
Yo, that's crazy. Yo.
Yo, what's up, man?
Yeah, great question. I have to jump on. That's the 25,000. Actually, what year was that? That's 1975.
Yeah,
I forgot. What? Okay, it's bigger more than $25,000 question. Who wants to be a millionaire? Go ahead, man. Answer that question, man. That's the question I want to be a part of. That's the question right there, Freezer. Go ahead.
Right. I've been trying to get to it, man, but we've been going down these different roads. But go ahead, Mr. Rocket. I'm sorry, man, for interrupting.
Oh, you want me to finish my point?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
OG, the Precious, Malachi Flynn. I think it was a move that we needed to make now, like to slow up that, put the bandage back on. But like, yeah, I think we're still in contention. We back in contention. We still playing for something. Like, let's go. Like, let's just go. Enough with the slow gassing and stuff. Like, let's go. If we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it. Right. Okay. All right. Dre, you want to jump in on this one, bro?
I think like if you're talking about like deep playoff run, championship contention, I think we're still like one more large, and preferably like a large creator.
Right.
Like it doesn't necessarily have to be a superstar. It could just be. I'm trying to think of the caliber player that isn't completely over the top.
The dude that came off the bench for Golden State. Remember the point guard that came off the bench for Golden State?
Livingston?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Something.
But if we're going that route, I'm thinking someone that's a little bit more close to fringe all-star territory. If we're going that route, but if I'm saying if we're gonna go with that route with the bench guy, like we should try to like holler and see what the price for Malcolm Brogdon would be.
Okay.
For our bench unit, and to sometimes supplement our starters if they were to come off and play.
Yeah.
I think someone like that is someone that you need to.
Or Marcus Smart.
Yeah, but the thing is, Marcus Smart is good, but I think sometimes he does a little bit too much, and we already have like a bunch of high usage players that get their points relatively easy. Whereas Malcolm Brogdon will just sit in the pocket, stay in his lane in his pocket.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes Marcus Smart jumps off the window when he has Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum alongside him.
Can you imagine the energy though? Can you imagine the passive aggressive energy when you have Randall, Josh Hart, and Marcus Smart on the floor all at the same time?
It's a lot of it'll be a nutty team.
They'll start throwing headbands in the stands, bro. You know what I'm saying?
We would be looking like the Pacers when they had Jackson and
and Al Harrington
and Metta World Peace
and Jamal Tinsley.
Yeah. It'll be kind of crazy. or like
Jermaine O'Neal and them cats. Yeah,
the
they was
early
fire.
2000s
Jermaine O'Neal,
Blazers, the early
They ain't play
2000s
no games.
Trailblazers.
Yeah.
But you think
But
we need one more spark plug? That's what y'all saying. We need one more spark plug.
This bench, we like Tibbs had to stagger
Like
Brunson and
instant,
Randall because he had no faith that we were gonna get consistent offense
instant
out of our bench
offense. Like, yeah, we need that spark plug again. One more instant offensive guy.
because like I'm watching the bench unit and like they're letting Josh Hart initiate because we have no faith in Miles McBride, and I'm just like, oh no,
Yeah.
this not it.
Yo, sorry to interrupt, but I think we're going a little off tangent, slightly
off topic. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question again was.
But no. I was answering the reason why I wanted that type of
Yeah,
player.
no, I thought he was doing good. I didn't think he was getting too.
The
Hold your
reason why I
horses now,
wanted
Wiz.
that type
I've
of
been here
player is
waiting to.
because our bench unit is lacking. We have no real initiator. That's why we're staggering Brunson and Randall that first game after the trade because, like, yo, this unit can't operate on its own. Like when we lost Quick, we lost our best initiator. Like Miles McBride, while Miles McBride is a really good defender, he's not an NBA guard on offense, like at all. Not right now.
Now, Wiz is saying that we were talking about. The question was, how close are we being to a championship contender?
And I'm pointing out the flaw in our team because if we were to add those types of players, if we were to add that type of player like a Malcolm Brogdon in tandem with like another wing player, then I think we'd be a lot closer. That's what I meant. But like if we're not getting a Malcolm Brogdon type, like I would like something closer to maybe borderline all-star territory. Like I think Ribby mentioned Brandon Ingram. I'm not sure how feasible that would be.
But I'm asking, how close are we? Without those moves, how close are we to being a championship contender with OG Anunoby?
Right now.
Yeah.
I think this team is a second round ceiling right this second. I think we need one more because if we're talking about who's ahead of us in the East, I think you need a little bit more firepower offensively when you're talking about Boston and the Bucks. And I think that's why we need one
Freezy,
more.
I'm ready to take it there. I've been holding on tight. Listen to me, guys. If we can get 90% Mitchell Robinson on that floor 90% of the time, this team can beat anybody right now in the NBA. There'll be no team that can play defense at the level we can play defense where OG is not just letting big wings just blow by him and he's holding down these bigger players. And like you just said, Hartenstein can sneak over. Imagine Mitchell sneaking over. I'm telling you, Randall's inspired. He's not going to just stand and shoot jumpers. He's going to put pressure on
Hey,
defense.
Dre, your microphone extra sensitive.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Is that me?
Yeah.
I'm hearing it too.
I always mute up. Always mute up when I'm not speaking.
Yeah.
If we can keep Randall inspired like this, I'm gonna be honest.
No, the crackling. Somebody got water running.
You just. Oh, that might be in my pipe. My bad. That actually might be my. You know, I live on an old house in Jersey. You know, we got the radiator. We can just. The issue would be if Brunson. If he's a little sporadic to be your superstar because that's what he would have to be when you got deep into the playoffs. He couldn't come in and do what he did last night and expect to win the game. He has to. He has the ball so much. He takes so many. He's the only one that can really, really, really get his shot when things are super tight. And that would be my only concern. Can we really rely on Brunson to win us a championship? But what we have right now will rock any team night in, night out. In the 7-game series, we're not getting swept. This team's never getting swept.
That's the reason I was like,
agree with that.
That's why I was like, we need like one more shot creator. Because when you talk about the other teams, like that are contemporaries from the perimeter, the Bucks have 2 guys that can get their own shot at any given time. The Celtics have like 3 guys that can do it at any given time. from the perimeter, like guard play or wing play. Whereas we only have Brunson right now. And when Randall's locked in and engaged, he can be a pseudo wing or have guard tendencies. But I think we need one more from the guard
But he
position.
needs
A guy that can
Brunson.
just, yeah, like
The better
yeah,
Brunson
Brunson.
is, the better Randall is.
But I'm saying besides Brunson from the guard or wing position, we need one more guy that can just create their own shot at any given moment because when it's an arms race right now in the East. And like, yes, you need great defense to win, but you also need offense. Like, you have to get that through Tibbs' head as well. Like, you need guys to be able to put the ball in the hole. And
Josh,
how you blaming Tibbs for the? How you blaming Tibbs for the players he put on the ball?
This is why. No. This is how the reason why I blame Tibbs for that. Tibbs' mentality is to default for size over everything, depending on our matchup. Like he doesn't care about like going all in and trying to outscore a team. Like hypothetically speaking, if we came down the stretch of this game when Dante or Grimes in the game instead of Hart, we probably win by a wider margin. To be absolutely honest.
Minnesota's playing with size. They got the best record on the West. I like this size approach. Let Tibbs do Tibbs.
But Josh Hart ain't that big.
I know it.
He's barely big.
That's not Tibbs' fault though.
No, it's Tibbs one of them. But I'm saying Josh Hart is the same size as Grimes. Dante, what? 1 inch shorter than Josh Hart?
That's your question.
Like, you can't even use
Josh Hart. Josh Hart is smaller than D'Angelo Russell. To put things in perspective.
But Wiz didn't get to answer the question on the floor.
My fault. Go ahead, Wiz.
Me either. I didn't get the answer either. So
Josh Hart just has a lot of heart, pretty much.
Okay.
Like,
so one guy saying we can win. We're a championship contender, right? Was that the last take? We can beat anybody.
That's what G.I. said. Yeah.
I said with a 90%. I said with 90% of Mitchell Robinson, we'll have the OG and Mitchell Robinson will have so much defense down low. It'll be tough to beat us night in, night out.
Well, that means we can win a championship. You're saying that, right? We're a championship contender. If we can beat anybody,
that's what I said. That's what I said. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you understood why I said it, though. I didn't want you didn't say the 90% Mitchell Robinson. That's all.
With Mitchell Robinson 90%, we're a championship contender team as we are currently constructed. That's what you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Dang. Okay. So I guess there are delusions because sorry, boss. I think we can beat anybody on any given night. I don't think we can beat anybody in a 7-game series of the top 6 teams in the NBA right now. Okay. So my answer to the question is what OG did compared to where we were a week ago, even with Mitch back at full strength, he took us to a point where that one piece will make us championship contenders. Last week, we needed the perfect piece and the supporting part. So right now, I think we are a second-round team as currently constructed, even with Mitch in at 100%.
Okay. If I may, I'm just going to interject this. I think the Knicks are championship contenders at the moment. Right? Right now, I think we're championship contenders. And the reason why I say that, and it's going to sound disrespectful, and if it does, get over it. It's a conversation, but with 150-something people, and there'll be thousands of people watching it. So everybody's going to have their own opinion. Right? I think the Knicks last spring with an average roster beats Miami and may even beat the Boston Celtics. If we had an average NBA roster and with a healthy Julius Randle, right? If we didn't have the misgivings of an Obi and RJ or Quickly and those guys, and I know that sounds disrespectful, right? But if you think I'm being disrespectful, look at how many of those players are on the roster right now. Right? And look at what the front office did to replace them. Right? The Knicks brought in a NBA champion. Tell me if this sounds familiar. the Knicks brought in a cast-off NBA champion to help shore up our deficiencies. What play do you think I'm talking about?
Kawhi.
Defensive win.
I
No,
know you're not
The,
comparing.
the Knicks brought in a championship winner, a champion, to shore up our deficiencies. Which play do you think I'm talking about?
You're talking about OG.
Flynn.
OG won a championship.
No, I could have been talking about Dante DiVincenzo also.
Dante.
Right? Right?
That's technical, Freezy.
Right now, no,
He was injured the whole playoff run.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't matter if he was injured. He went through
I'm saying
the
he was
bumps and the
there, but
bruises through the whole season with that
Yeah.
team. He
OG,
had-
OG
he
didn't
showed.
play. OG didn't
didn't
play in
play
the championship.
either.
He was hurt too.
Yeah, both of them.
But they were there for the ride. They
But they were
saw it.
there.
And they saw
They
the ups
know.
and the downs.
We agree
They
with
know
you,
what it
Rocket.
takes.
I touched on
agree
that
with you, Rocket.
earlier.
But the point that I'm getting at is they know what it takes to get there, and they know how to be consistent throughout lineup changes and all of these different things, right? You bring in these, mind you, they didn't bring in 35-year-olds, bro. They brought in 25, 26-year-olds that they plan, that they want to add that, bro. You know what they can walk around that locker room and do that no other player can do? They can wear a championship ring
Facts.
around in that locker room.
That's why
And
I
it
was
don't
saying
matter
that
if
earlier.
Randall make 8 more All-Star teams. If he don't have a ring, he can't do that. He got to listen. Right? And so the point that I'm getting at is the guys that were shaky on that run are no longer here. Right? And I know this is gonna sound wild OD, right? But even Mitch may be fortunate that he got hurt. Right? Because if a deal comes up and the Knicks could have got a championship caliber big man, Mitch may have been gone also. Right? And so what I'm getting at is the parts that are gone weighed us down, right? The parts that are brought in are in essence brought here to help a team ascend to that next level, right? And if you watch Jalen Brunson's performance in the playoffs, you know Jalen Brunson can do it in the playoffs, right? And now you bring in OG, and then you bring in DiVincenzo, right? And you hope Randall is healthy in the playoffs, right? Just off this fuel alone, I think the Knicks are closer than what we think, right? Because if we're
what I think, I'm with you.
If we're just thinking basketball theory, right, instead of hoop dreams, because the hoop dreams part has us thinking all we need is 10 more players, all we need is 10 more Giannis's, and maybe one day we'll win a championship. But the hoop theory part is you don't really need those things, because the reason why good teams good teams lose to great teams is because the great teams have all shored up around the edges. Like the Boston Celtics, their best 2 players are Tatum and Brown. But you know who they have around the periphery? Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, and Drew Holiday. Right? And so with the Knicks, if we're just talking about basketball theory, I think the Knicks have mostly what it takes to contend for a championship. We probably need to shore up stuff around the fringes, and how they did that was bringing in an elite wing defender, right? Bringing in a disruptor on because Dante DiVincenzo is more of a disruptor on defense. Even though his defense is good, he's a disruptor on defense, right? And then what that does vicariously, it pushes other players on the roster. I'm talking about behind those guys, like the Grimes and the other guys behind Grimes or on that Grimes level, Hart and those guys. You ask them to do less, which in theory is more. Right? They'll be better in their role because they have less responsibility. And so if you ask me, right? If you ask me Friday, I'd have been like, no, this team is a play-in team. Right? But if you're asking me today, if this team finishes 4 or 5 and Indiana finishes 4, and we mess around and get in Orlando versus Boston series, and Orlando knocks off a Boston or Milwaukee, which could happen. We don't know if it can or cannot. We have to wait and see. Just like when y'all say you have to wait and see for us. You can't say, or you can say it. It just doesn't sound smart when you say it. If you say no, I need to see more from us, but then you but you pick out another team that you barely watch and say no, I believe in them. Then I can't trust what you're saying, right? So what I'm saying is the OG Anunoby deal gets us closer to championship contention than I think we would otherwise feel like we were when RJ Barrett was out there struggling. You saw
That's
tonight,
an amazing
RJ.
tape.
Yeah,
an amazing tape.
I think OG Anunoby gave us 40. When I watched OG Anunoby tonight, I think he played 40% of his game tonight. He gave us about 40% of what he can do because he's learning like new team. He probably don't even know where the bathroom is at the practice facility yet. He don't even know what it feels like to put the city edition uniforms on yet.
I don't even think he's been at the practice facility.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then when you
this Tibbs don't like big wings, he didn't let the man sit down until he fouled out.
Yeah,
because he got his Luol Deng. Because
decent take, but I have two objections.
Okay,
First
can
one.
you let me finish it first before you judge it?
I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to stop judging it.
Go ahead and finish judging it, then.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and
judge it, bro.
I'm judging it in my mind. Keep going. I want to keep.
Go ahead and judge it, bro. Go ahead. You got it.
Okay, I want to adjust two parts. The first part was your description of how we performed last playoff against Miami, as if it was a chemical experiment in which everything remained the same. There were too many changes in the offseason and during the season that now that scenario is no longer valid because we've added different elements. Now you're about to blow up the lab.
What elements?
Boston's moves.
No, I'm talking about the Knicks.
I know, but Boston's moves eliminate us even thinking about being in that position of playing Miami, because Boston moves now puts that team in a position where it's very unlikely they won't be there in the ECF, and we would be playing them, not Miami, and beating them as they are.
Scaredy cat. Boston looked great last year too, bro.
I know they were.
You sound like a scaredy cat, bro. You want me to get you a dog?
They added a championship.
He walked right into what you said, Freezer. You warned him, don't look at other teams and trust other teams' eye, but don't trust our eye. He walked right into your take, Freezer. Great work, bro.
But he's not wrong in that respect.
Boston as well.
He's wrong, and he's wrong in a sense that I never judged the field.
I understand.
Everything I stated was internal.
I understand.
And you want me to look at the field, right? And I'm telling you,
I said it. You mentioned the field last year, but I mentioned in Miami and playing Miami. But
no, I didn't. I said the playoffs. I didn't say Miami specifically. I said the playoffs.
Okay. So so boom, dismissed. The judges just told me, shut up, sit down, keep going, keep going, counselor, keep going. Present your argument.
I think you're misinterpreting what I'm saying. You're extrapolating evidence that doesn't exist.
Precisely. I think I step back.
Right? Because did Milwaukee not look great last year? Was Milwaukee not the number one seed in the East last year?
Unbeatable.
Oh, right. No.
Until you got to make Giannis make free throws down the stretch, and then they're a totally different team.
I mean, the context behind it was they had injuries too.
Freezer said we could beat them last year. Freezer said we can beat Milwaukee. He's not afraid of them.
Right.
He was very clear about that pre-playoffs.
And Milwaukee lost in the first round, right?
Precisely. So
right. Yeah. So if I was correct then, right? Why can't I be correct right now?
I'm not saying you're incorrect. I'm saying your premise was based on some certain facts that are no longer facts, because those things have changed. The chemical experiment has new elements added to it, and I can look at a state in time of April 2023 and look at where we are now with the current lineups of Boston's team, and go, oh yeah. And then when you added Orlando, Boston, with Orlando possibly beating them, is another premise where I go, I never look at the possibility of the best player team getting knocked off before we get to face them. I want to beat them. So I look at how we're going to fare against them, that against Orlando beating them for us, so we can then beat that young Orlando team because they're weak. And as far as youthful. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Milwaukee didn't want no parts of us last year in the playoffs. They didn't want to see us. I'm sorry.
That's right. That's right.
We had their number. We had their number
one,
all season last year.
But that's different though, because we've seen times even with Tom Thibodeau teams where they smoked the Heatles in the regular season, and then they get to the playoffs, and then you saw what happened. Like you can't extrapolate regular season data all the time.
That
Push us
is
towards the
true.
playoffs.
That is true. But that dog that was in us, they didn't want to see us in that playoffs last year.
Hey, I'll be back, y'all. I need about 30 minutes. Can y'all rock for like 30 minutes?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
And I was arguing the point about, because even Miami, I think our moves in the summer were moves that would definitely would beat Miami. That the Dante Obi switch, that lineup will beat the Miami we faced last spring.
Yeah.
It wouldn't beat the current Boston team. This change we did with just bringing Dante for Obi, what would beat Miami, that game 6 would be different if we had a Dante, but it will not beat a Boston as currently constructed with Porzingis and a champion, a actual champion who participated in the championship, who led the team as the point guard.
Where you getting this data from? What's the basis for this determination you make? Your eye test?
I'm saying that the fact of the matter is they bring in a 7-foot 3-point shooting, spacing, rim protector. I mean, high IQ player like Porzingis.
You can simplify it though, Wiz. You can simplify it. You can just say you can simplify it. The Boston Celtics brought in 2 former All-Stars to their team, one of which is still in their prime, and the other one has a ton left in the tank. And then they have Derek White, who's also playing at a near All-Star level at this current juncture, like right now.
Right.
And if we're going,
is he eliminates all our champions, Dante, OG.
Don't help him, Joe.
He eliminates them because he was actually in the mix as a starting guard of the championship team. Where OG and Dante were peripheral pieces. So I'm talking about when you say championship, element being brought in. Drew Holiday is a championship element. OG was peripheral, was like by osmosis. He got a little taste of championship. Oh yeah, I know what it feels like to be a champion. I was around champions. I was around champions. I did a little something here. I was hurt one year, but I watched Steph. I watched Giannis, but I wasn't there with the ball, taking the shots, doing defense like Drew Holiday was. So that's why I'm saying that that's a huge step compared to when you say championship element being added. Drew by himself eliminates all of our, guys who've been around championships. That's what I'm saying.
I'll say we're as Freezy. I actually agree. I'm in the middle. I'm caught in the middle between Freezy and Wiz, where I'm like the equation where I'm looking around the league. I trust my eyes and how I interpret the game. I think we're not as far. Like Freezy said, we're not as far, but I don't think we're just there right yet. Where we just need a minor piece that'll help us. I think we need I think we need a moderate adjustment, or like another player that can do a particular thing to fill a specific hole on this team. Like, to be absolutely honest, if there's a team or two that doesn't really have a hole at this current juncture, it might be the Celtics, because they're like 26-6 right now with like a crazy net rating split. So, but outside of them, I don't really fear any other team. Like, I think we can beat them, or we can hang with the Bucks as of right now with this current roster. I think we still need to make a move in terms of having another guy that can orchestrate the offense when Brunson's not on the floor.
Right.
Because we don't have like right now we do not have a backup guard that can initiate offense right now.
Big hole, giant hole.
If it's not Brunson initiating the offense, who's doing it on this team? It's not Miles.
And that's my boy.
We asking Josh Hart to do it some tonight. Dante
Oh.
is not usually in that role. You know what I'm saying? Like
So
and
you answer the question, you always answer it because you know we're missing. So you said if we have, then that's where it would be. But without it, we are not there.
Because what's going to happen is what's going to happen is we're going to slow the games down, and it's going to be more half court. So the offensive initiation is going to be less as important as it is offensive execution. Hart is a big part of it with the second unit because he's going to rebound and just push like a madman, and that in and of itself. And that, go ahead.
I'm not disagreeing with you all the way, but when we talk about every minute matters, we legitimately went up 14 on the Heat in Game 6, and we lost it because we put Miles McBride in the game, and that lead evaporated, and that's where we lost the game. Like every minute matters. So when you talk about like shrinking the game and shortening it, unless you think Brunson's going to play all 48 minutes, you have to deviate from him at some point.
So there goes. By the way, you guys.
Whereas when I'm talking about the Celtics or something, right? They have two out of 5 of these guys on the court at all times. Derek White is on the court.
Yeah, because they have no depth. They have no choice. They have no depth.
But this is the thing. Even when they have no depth, they still have orchestration. They still have cohesiveness because those guys have been there and those guys have done it or have played high leverage basketball for a very long time.
Trying to slash power forward.
Whereas us, like, do we have? Matter of fact, if we had Derek White on this team, I would feel so much more comfortable saying that. But this is what they have. They have Drew Holiday that can orchestrate offense, initiate. Derek White can do it. Jaylen Brown can do it. Tatum can do it. And when you have 4 of those guys, it doesn't really matter your depth as much because you have 4 of them. So you can just throw 2 of them in the game at any given point. When Brunson's
I think
out
the
of the
biggest
game,
part.
who is initiating? Who's getting us into our sets?
I think the biggest part of my assessment is a championship caliber team is not 1 year. When you look and you see a couple years because it's impossible to nobody wins back to back. And Drew Holiday, his treads getting light, bro. He's not there for a 3-year run.
But he doesn't have to do as much because that roster is so loaded. That's my thing. Like when you talk about and I agree to your point, Gia, where you say like it's more than just 1 year. It's 2, 3, 4 years, right? That's why I'm saying like we have enough time to make tweaks. So when we made this OG move, I don't know if you heard me, but I commented it's like in my mind, it's not even for just this year going deep in the playoffs this year. We're not going to give up, right? But I know just having
this kid's going
but having him in place ensures that we're going to be able to make tweaks over the next 2-3 years. Maybe next year we go to a conference finals. Hell, we might go this year, right? But it's something that's going to be set in place, and you could just make tweaks and adjustments as you go along, as you have more time. Like if you just look at the Celtics timeline, all they've been doing the last 3-4 years is making tweaks because they already have their core in place, right? They just keep making tweaks and making adjustments and adding to that core to the point that right now they look really, really good, and we can get to that point once we keep making tweaks and adjustments.
I think Chris's question is great for the lineup for the pieces, but there's a big elephant in the room that will not have us in that ECF. And we know who it is. And he has a comb over that should be shaved off.
Leave Tibbs alone, man. I will say his affinity for Josh Hart will get us killed in a game or 2 in the playoffs. I will say that.
I'm saying is substitutions, his dependency, even watching.
There was no reason Josh Hart should have played the whole 4th quarter.
No,
I'm sorry.
Even Julius was exhausted in the the second quarter, and he left him in there shooting a couple air balls. He wears his players out, and he doesn't. He has no barometer as to the fatigue level of his players. He doesn't
Yo,
set, and
I,
he believes in the guys so much, which is good. He believes in them so much, like even Brunson, that he's like, he'll keep shooting Brunson. You'll eventually hit a shot.
yeah.
9 3-point attempts.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
he left. I think he left Josh Hart in there because DiVincenzo got hurt a little bit, and I don't think he was going to come back at the game.
DiVincenzo hurt his arm.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to come back in the
right
game, so
after
he was
last
forced to leave Josh Hart in there.
I would have put in Grimes over Josh Hurt. I'm not even gonna hold you at that point.
Put in
The
Grimes.
way Grimes was actually playing like he had a pulse.
Exactly. I mean, opportunities like that should not be missed, but he misses them all the time when he sees. I mean, literally that from that wet IQ, substitution with RJ. When RJ came in, that IQ was hot, and then RJ came in and threw away 3 balls and missed 3 shots. He just doesn't have his finger on the pulse of the team when they're fatigued and when they're hot and when they're cold. And he believes in his players so much, or he's so locked into his routine that he makes these blunders.
This is the thing that I think about Tibbs. He will forego what may actually work in a basketball sense or what actually is working on that night for what operates in his mind as basketball logic. Like I value big, I value big wings at this given moment, even though like another player isn't viewed as a big wing that's performing at a high level. He'll say at this moment I value this, and it goes from my conventional wisdom that this will win us the game above what's actually winning you the game in that moment, right? So I think it's template coaching.
Yep.
And that'll get you in trouble because if you're not playing by feel, if you're not playing by what you're seeing on the court happening, and then you just avoid to go back to your normal rotation, that'll get you in trouble against teams that are or against coaches that coach to the feel of the game or the direction the game is headed into.
I just think it's such a thin line to say, well, he's going to have one thing over the other. There's a lot of guys that have feel, a lot of guys that coach off feel. I think Tyronn Lue 100% coaches off feel. But the problem is sometimes those guys aren't prepared. They get their tails kicked. Tibbs is never not prepared. This scouting team is never not knowing what's going to happen. Whether
he knows he will just intentionally, like this is the thing, he knows all the analytical data, he knows all the advanced statistics. He will purposely go against it because it doesn't fit his conventional logic on what wins in the NBA. And the problem is what wins in today's NBA has never, like, there's no direct correlation in the NBA maybe 10 years ago, right? Like, in some instances, right, we out rebounded the Pacers by a lot, and we still lost, right?
No way we should lose that game.
We shouldn't, right? But that goes against conventional wisdom. That goes against he's partially from the Pat Riley School of Basketball, and Pat Riley says if you don't rebound, you don't win, right? Yeah. That goes against his conventional logic. Like, yo, if we rebound, we're supposed to win, or it gives us a better chance. But not every game is the same. Every game is like a fingerprint. It's different. And if you're going against a field for a game, sometimes you're going to have to outscore another team. Sometimes you can't just completely rely on your defense to stagnate teams. When you don't have multiple different ways to win, that's why you need like a roster that's diversified with different layers of different types of talent and different skills. Because once you have the same thing over and over, then there's no redundancy. Then you have less ways to win basketball games.
And I think Tibbs' response to you is going to be, if you make sure you give him enough size, pause, he can make sure he can affect the defensive side. Go ahead, where's my bad?
Okay, so I mean, my concern is it's over and over again. We've seen it, and it's not like he doesn't come back and admits it sometimes himself, where he sees, he does it by the next game, where he realizes his flaw. I could go through game after game of when he makes that blunder, huge blunder, and the next game he corrects it. But it's too late when you're in the midst of a playoff series to be taking any losses that you should have won. I mean, every game counts. So when you do a move, like I'm thinking about just randomly, the Dallas game where they, they came back 9 down with 33 seconds left, right? The last play where Luka got that rebound, he had short guys at the line. I mean, waiting for the rebound. All his rebounders, 2 rebounders were on the bench. He had Grimes. I think Grimes and RJ went for the ball and accidentally bumped into each other, and Luka got the ball and scored. But he does it all the time. The next game, he rotated out defense, offense, rebounding, shooters. He did exactly what he should have done that time where there was a break in the action. He had a chance to substitute that and put in some rebounders because all we needed was a rebound that to win the game.
Mhm.
And he left in Grimes when he had Jumpman Sims, Ihart, Mitch, Randall. Why those guys not in the game to get a rebound on a foul? Because we didn't care about getting a foul shot and hitting. No need to score after that. Just get the rebound.
Sometimes he falls asleep at the wheel. Like
That's what I'm saying.
there's like opportunities during the game, like when OG got his 6th foul.
Yes,
Why
exactly.
just challenge it?
Yeah,
Who cares? OG being on the game is more important than you having that one extra timeout.
right.
So you challenge it. There's been multiple instances. I think the Knicks are like the team that has challenged the least this entire season. I think we've only challenged like 5 times.
Right.
This means he's just not completely on top of it or at his sharpest point right now. So
Well, remember he
you
came
need
up.
someone that feels the game as it's happening. Right.
He
Go
grew up
ahead. Will.
times being part of the repertoire. So when you grow up without that being a part of your repertoire as a coach, he just doesn't go to it. It's not an automatic instinct for him to do it because he never had it for 35 of his 45 years coaching. So all of a sudden he's like, oh, I could do that. And he probably thinks about it after the game. And when he watches the film every night and 16 times, on the 17th time he watched the film, he's like, I could have challenged that. And realize, because he never knows the game after the game when he talks to the reporters. I'll watch the film later, and I'll watch it a few times and I'll see what my mistake was.
It's one of those things where the things that make Tibbs great or a very good coach is also the things that handcuffs him when you put him in high pressured situations. Like him being strict and having strict principles and being rigid, it helps you defensively because you always know where your rotations are. You always know, oh, I'm going to be the low man in this instance. You always know what's going to happen when it plays out because he always has you prepared.
It's kind of like what's going on with Popovich over there with the Spurs. Like,
Yeah, but sometimes it's one of those things like when you get caught in a boxing match, everybody has a plan until you get hit in the mouth, right?
Exactly.
And then when you have to adjust, who's in your corner helping you adjust? And if it's just the coach out there telling you just to do the same thing but harder, then it's just like, yo, this works against this particular strategy might work against 27 out of the 29 other teams. But so happens we're playing against one of the 2 teams that it doesn't work. Tibbs will just be like, yo, it doesn't matter. We just gonna do the same thing we always do.
Yep.
Figure it out. Just do it harder.
Exactly.
And that's that's the issue that I have with Tibbs. Like that's why he's a hell of a regular season coach. But there's a reason why he has like a very, very mediocre postseason record. I think he's like 33 and 44 in the postseason.
Mm.
And it's not due to lack of talent every time. It's not due to lack of talent every time.
It's not a mediocre postseason. It's a losing postseason record.
I mean, if you had a winning postseason record, chances are you're a champion. So
I know that's hard. But just once you have a 10 win difference,
yeah,
it's a record.
that usually means you're not performing to make deep playoff runs every year.
Exactly. And what we're happy about is we're making the playoffs right now as a fan base. We're making the playoffs, so most of us are happy because we're making the playoffs, unlike the past 25 years. So I'm saying, which I'm not one of those who's celebrating playoffs. I'm happy with it. I'm pleased with it, but I'm not happy with it.
I think we're in the space right now where if we go into the playoffs against a team, we're respected against like the top two seeds. But I think we're a move or two away from like being feared.
Right.
Like, and granted, a lot of teams in the postseason, like the Miami Heat last year, they were respected by the Bucks, and they weren't feared by the Bucks. And sometimes the respected team wins. But
Right.
in order for me to feel comfortable, like, oh, I don't want to just be in a position where it's just like, yo, we can beat these teams. I want to be in a position where it's like, yo, we should beat these teams.
Yep.
Not we could. I want to switch from could to should, if that makes sense. So it's like, yeah, this team is in a great place headed forward, assets wise, and just roster composition in terms of our core right now. It's a great place where you can tack on things, but we're not in that should place. We're in that could place. And when you're in that could place, there's a lot more things that can disrupt that. Like when you're in that should place, you can sustain an injury and still come out a victor. When you're in that could place, you're in that place where if we sustain one more injury, that's it. Anybody in our rotation, that's it. When you talking about like the Bucks and Dante winning the championship, they were in that should place. They won like 60 games that year, and they got an injury to Dante DiVincenzo, a rotation guy, and they still came out and won because they were in a place of excess and talent. You need excess. To be absolutely honest, you need excess to win championships. To just win one championships, you need excess, a lot of luck with health.
Yeah,
and not one of your main guys to get hurt, right?
Right now, I mean, because it's summer, when people are talking about, oh yeah, they're looking at Boston, Philly, and Milwaukee, I'm like, watch the teams that are behind us. Watch what's Orlando doing, what's the Pacers doing, what Cavs doing. I want to watch those teams because those teams are the ones that I'm worried about.
I know the Pacers are mad that we got OG. They wanted him. The Pacers wanted him.
Oh yeah, that sure wanted him. I mean, I feel better that it would be the Pacers, but
they're going to target Pascal. Pascal had like almost 40 tonight, so he seems to have found his jumper.
Orlando is the one I worry about, man. I think we can take Orlando. I'm worried about every month. Those young people get a little bit better, a little bit more confidence, and hopefully they'll be shook in the playoffs. But
yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10, when we're talking about a young team that, besides like OKC making a deep playoff run after being eliminated one time, a lot of these young teams it takes seasoning. It takes 2-3 years of heartbreak. And in the way that we're trying to do it, we're not old, but we have young veterans on this team and a couple guys that have seen championships. So
yeah,
we're not in the Orlando space where it's like, yo, you 21, 22, yo, you got to be the face of this franchise. You got to be able to do this, that, and the third, and figure it out and uplift your role players. We're in a space where it's like these guys are pretty much sound. You know what they are. You know what they can do. Right. That's why I'm just like we have to acquire just a little bit more in my mind in order to get over the hump, because every champion in my mind didn't get to the finals with the skin of their teeth, or like at some point they had short series. They had a matchup that was just so favorable they ran through it. And I think right now, if we got to the playoffs, I don't think we're gonna run through anybody. I think we can beat a lot of teams. I think we could beat a lot of teams. But the could, I want that could to turn into a should. I want to be favored. I don't want to just be there.
What we gotta do?
That's what I'm like. We gotta make we got to make a couple more moves. Like
Who
we need
got-
another, we
Give me
need
one.
another playmaker. Go ahead, Wiz.
Give me one. Give me the guy who could take us there.
I don't know if he will take us there, but I think like adding a Malcolm Brogdon would be cool for the
Okay.
bench in order to get us in our sets, orchestrate us, have someone that's a calming influence that can get the young guys in position to score, and he can score himself as well. He has a lot left in the tank.
I don't think I don't think Portland's gonna let go of Brogdon right now.
Nah, they rebuilding. They gonna let him go. If you if you offer them the right price, they gonna let him go.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, cause he has like 2 years on his contract, and the plus side about him having like 2 years on his contract, you could bring him on for now, bring him into the next season, and say we gotta like make a big trade. We can use his money as an expiring to make it happen, and then target like a star or a playmaker that can be at the 2/3 that can orchestrate and have Brunson off the ball sometimes. To have Brunson attacking instead of holding the ball as much. This is where like I'm trying to in my mind I'm trying to operate myself to get into a position of excess where you just have this excessive talent where you're in a position where you're favored. I understand where Freezy's like, yo, we're not too far, we can compete. I don't want to compete. Like I want to be in a position where I'm expected to beat these teams. Like I'm expected to win in 5-6 games, even if these teams are very good. And you gotta sometimes gotta go for the gusto at times. So I don't think we're that far from that position, which is the good thing. Like I think we have to make moves and pivot. Probably trade for someone that can combine some money, be on our books, and then if we have to move on later on and trade that guy that we acquired this year for a better player with the other assets, then that would be cool. That's the conventional wisdom or theory
Yeah,
that that we would take if we were to acquire DeJounte. Like we would acquire DeJounte, but he wouldn't be the last move. He would be the move you use to flip.
flip.
Okay, so
This
let's
this is basically how, like, when you look at the Bucks, even though they won a championship, they
Mhm.
made a move. They moved hell and high water to get Drew Holiday. They gave up 3 first-round picks,
right.
gave him a big old contract, and you know what they did? They won a championship, and then they flipped him. That's essentially what we be trying to do. Not the championship part, but acquire a guy that makes a nice chunk of money, and when you want to make the big move, you flip that guy
All right,
with
so
some picks for a guy. Like that's how they moved from Drew Holiday to Dame Lillard. They
so
flipped.
let's say right now, right as we are right now, the way we are. What do you think? What do you think is our true ceiling, considering without any luck and Miami knocking off Philly, Boston
Second round ceiling right now.
second
Right
round.
now,
And,
in my mind, second round ceiling.
and if we got
But
the DeJounte for Grimes and Fournier, can that take us to ECF?
I think I think if things break right, like any year, it could go to ECF, right? But in my mind, I think it's like a long series second round. But that
Okay.
puts you in a better position to even flip for the superstar because it's like, yo, we already have all the parts in place. We just need this particular guy, X, Y, Z, and
That's
we have
always
we
what.
have the we have Dejounte as like a placeholder that you can use to navigate yourself to get the guy that fits most perfectly. If that makes sense.
Yep.
It's like a biding your time type move. You're not completely stagnant. You're making moves, but you're consolidating and then pouring it into a talent that might be more attractive to another team in which you're trying to extract their star from them.
How much
Like
years?
it's easier. Hold on, my fault. It's easier to be like, yo, take DeJounte and this contract and these 4 picks and give me your All NBA player, rather than being like, yo, take 6 first-round picks, Grimes and Fournier. They'd be like, hell no, I don't want the Grimes and Fournier. They'd be more apt to thinking like, okay, we know what DeJounte is, and these 4 first-round picks are way more enticing now, and it'll be easier. And then you already have the stuff around your team that might be enticing to a star for a star to be like, yo, I want to play here because they already have the wing defending. They already have the isolation threat from the perimeter like Brunson. They already have Randall, who is a scorer inside threat, right? You have to position yourself to be more attractive. And that's what the OG move did. It made us more attractive. It just made us more attractive to a star, in my mind.
So basically, you're saying OG could be flipped.
OG could be flipped, but ideally, you want a two-way wing that plays at a high level more than you want a DeJounte, if that makes sense. Like DeJounte is a good player, but I think his defense has been a little bit overrated. Like he hasn't played defense at a high level beyond like playing passing lanes since he's been on the
Yeah, he
Spurs.
hasn't been at his defensive impact since the Spurs.
Yeah,
It
so
digressed when he got to Atlanta.
yeah, and like in theory, you think DeJounte is a great defender, but when he's normally guarding ones, actual point guards, that's when his length is such a problem. But when they ask him, because he's slider frame, he's still skinny. When they ask him, yo, guard this big two guard these big wings, then you get diminished returns from his defensive skill set because he's really like 200 pounds.
Like Desmond Bain.
And yeah, so you would think he'd be a better defender. Like he's really good at guarding point guards, but when you put him next to another small point guard, and the small point guard has to guard a point guard, DeJounte has to guard twos and threes. That's when you realize, yo, this fit might not be the most ideal because you can't hide. Like when you with Brunson, you can't hide him all the time, and that's why you kind of like. That's why like OG is more essential because he can guard 1 through 4, whereas DeJounte can guard ones, some twos. He cannot guard no threes or fours or fives. None of that. And that's what makes OG a little bit more special. Whereas you look at the box score, it's like, okay, 15 points. You don't really think about it. But it's like he's really like it's a wing driven league, and he is guarding teams' best wings every night and giving them problems while being at the top of the league in deflections and steals. Like he's really a rare commodity for keeping it a buck, which is why he's gonna make like 140, 150. Sounds a lot at the time, but wings are at a premium, and if you got a guy that can stop guys, you pay a lot for them. That's just what it is.
So we gonna give him to like 160.
It might be 140, 150. Like look at Jeremy Grant's contract, like 4 years, 150, 4 years, 140. If it's a hometown discount, it might be 140, right? But he's not gonna make chump change. He's gonna make good money. He's gonna make 35 plus mil a year. And max contracts are 50 million. Super maxes are 60 million. And when you're dealing with like a rarish commodity like OG is, you kind of have to. You're forced to pay him. You really forced to pay him because if you don't, someone will.
So, all right. So just say, speaking of Jalen Brunson, because see how he was a second round pick, right? Say he make all NBA or something like that, right? How much will he be worth?
I don't know if he's gonna get a super max, but he's gonna get a max. He's gonna get 50 plus. Well, it depends on what the salary cap jumps like because he's gonna get 50, 55, 60 probably if he makes all NBA. Like it is what it is, which is why you want to make these moves to maximize the fact that he's making 25.
Yeah.
Like Randall is making what 27, 28. You
Yeah.
gotta take advantage of it right now and acquire and flip. So you're put in a position where you're getting so much talent out of so much money. Like when you look at Dante, this is why I'm like so mad at the Josh Hart deal because it's not minimizing and maximizing the best you can get out of that 18, $19 million. Whereas when you look at Dante and what you're getting out of Dante for $10 million, $11 million, it's hard to beat that from a role player.
Yeah, man.
Especially a role player on his second contract. That's a really, or third contract. That's a really, really good contract that we got for Dante. Well, we were having a discussion on what would it take for the Knicks to go into that championship contender window, right? And I said basically, I want to go past this. Could we compete? To this, should we win? Not could we win?
So y'all need about 30 more minutes.
Nah, we got through it.
Okay. Because I was about to say I was gonna come in and wrap it up because I'm talking trash to DSJ over on vibes and stuff. Yeah. I was gonna. So for anybody that likes conversations about music and all that stuff, we're just doing a brief conversation about the difference between the movie Boomerang and New Jack City. So we're just doing something real.
As long as you don't make it a comparison with a particular producer.
We already down that road.
Oh,
dinosaurs are involved.
Oh God.
So y'all still want to rock, or y'all gonna wrap up here?
We can wrap it up.
Yeah,
I'll let y'all on vibes and stuff.
So I'm a wrap up here. Thank you everybody for coming through. For the Blorn family, we're gonna try to do the Knicks morning drive at 9 a.m. New look, got some new things that I want to try in 2024. Thank y'all for rocking with us. Peace out.